Hello and welcome to Light of Cinders here at All on the Table. I am your Dungeon Master, Tan Fighter or Tan. You can find me at TanFighter117 on Instagram, Twitter, and Tan Fighter on Discord. I do voices, people like them sometimes, and you can hit me up there if you want some of those. And once again, joining me are our players. Starting us off, Elle. Hello, hello.
Hi, my name is Elle. My pronouns are they, them. I play first of all, Percy Smythe Pussyfellow, a Eladrin paladin who has his heart in the right place, but everything else not. And you can find me on Instagram as LC Font for a eclectic mix of content that has no thrust or drive, because that's the way it should be. Um, Anyways, that's where you can find me. Passing it over to Nobody.
Hey, I'm Nobody. I play the role of Project 617, a plasmoid monk who is maybe a little too gelatinous to be in a situation like this. If you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm on Twitter and Blue Sky at Nobody Adams. That's Adams with two D's. And most relevantly, tonight, as of this plays, I will be on a one-shot for the Bard Rock Network. We're playing Blazing Hymn with the creator of the game. It's going to be a blast.
Woo!
Very cool.
Yeah, Matt.
Well, I'm Matthew R. Dawson. My pronouns are he, him. You can find me all over the internet as @Scruffy Wanderer. Pretty much everywhere you can have that name, you'll find me there. I am I'm a streamer and a content creator. You can find me typically on Random Rhapsody on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, so on and so forth. That's my channel. And today I'm playing Yehoshu. Yehoshu once was a cleric, now is more of an artificer, loves to build things. Pronouns are he, they, and they're just really in a rotten mood right now because they had to go save their friends and burn down a place, but one of the people got away, and they're not too thrilled about that. So, but they got their flail back, so that's good. I'm happy about that.
The small wins is what we take here.
Exactly.
And yes, last we had left our adventurers. They had found themselves initially separated, with Yehoshu running all the way back down to go gather up his remaining allies at the ship, while the rest of the party found themselves imprisoned in this weird, what they felt was this underground dungeon of sorts. And after some creative kicking and teleporting, they found a way to rob the jailer and break out of prison, where they also found one other prisoner they didn't recognize, who they helped free and took with them as they fought their way through to essentially the storeroom with all of their supplies and equipment, where they learned that their lovely co-prisoner is a man by the name of Dorian Sinet, the second son of Lancelius Sinet, the emperor that they are currently working for. And along with his assistants, they began to fight their way out, while simultaneously Yehoshu and the rest of their allies made their way across the wood line, and a very carefully placed neon sign of free nudes as they got up in the clearing to fight, where I believe everyone saw this woman who seems to have been the leader, Lanesia, of the Silvertaran bandits, dragging none other than Wigbert, Percy's caretaker, butler, friend, across the clearing, unconscious, a little roughed up, and falling in arms for all of the bandits to follow after her after she opens the portal and runs through it, with the portal still flickering and staying open. And the party went through to essentially dispatch a few of the bandits until these low growls of someone the other bandits were referring to as Logan was roused from his slumber as you see an enraged werewolf slowly creeping up towards all of you, larger and more feral looking than what you would have expected, with a glowing mark of a five-pointed star shimmering across his form. And that is where we pick up from. Now, firstly, as he walks up to all of you, I'm gonna need initiatives from all of you.
16, not bad.
16 for Yehoshu. Alright. 15. Bessie.
I wish I could pretend my practice roll earlier was no, actually,
The nat 20 initiative practice.
Yeah.
Nat 20, but I'd love to get my nat 20s out before they matter.
Of course. And 14 for project?
Yes, indeed. That's exactly where I'm happy.
We then have a 10 for Clang. Morgan won't join the combat because he's still busy saving the refugees.
That's fair.
Then we have a 12 for Dorian. And I'll ask you, in the case of Nolodax, since Ayoshi, you had him helping with the distractions, do you want Nolodax to assist you in this fight, or do you want him to keep the other bandits busy?
What y'all think?
How many other bandits are there?
Like 8?
Yeah, let.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep them busy, I think.
Alright.
Numbers
So
are not
he-
good.
Nolodax won't reveal himself then. He's still gonna be hiding in like the wood line essentially and just throwing off pyrotechnics and silent spells and fucking with people. And that would be his deal then. And all right. So we don't need map for this really because there's just one enemy in this case. You see, starting first is actually Logan the werewolf's turn. And just to paint a picture, you guys were in like this cabin on the side of this hill through like this essentially like heavy rain situation. And the cabin has this long wooded staircase moving its way downward. That's where you guys have thrown your greatest war asset, the table that you were using to block everything with. And you had begun to make your way down that staircase while Yehoshu was closing in along with Clank from your right, kind of further off into the woodline. And if you take that POV, like where he's coming in from right, to the immediate left, right under the staircase is the cage full of people where Morgan is heading. And a little further ahead to the left is the shimmering golden portal going somewhere. And yeah, so like that's kind of the situation. And the werewolf has kind of like just jumped into like the middle of all of you. And he like wildly looks around, sees you guys like coming down the stairway, and he sees Yehoshu and Clang. I'm gonna do a roll to see who does he think is threatening. Okay, in this moment he makes a break straight for Yehoshu. as he
tracks.
sees the others look wounded and don't feel like much of a threat to him. And he's gonna run up to you, and first is gonna do a bite attack. That is probably gonna hit a 24.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Right.
No, a 24 doesn't hit. What are you talking
Hey,
about?
with artifices, you never know. Is
It's
the
true.
thing.
It's true.
Infusions plus shield, you can easily crack that. Okay. You take 14 piercing damage from the bite, and I'm gonna need a Constitution saving throw.
That would be a 20.
All right. Yeah, he bites into you, and you see, as he does so, you're very quickly able to just like elbow him out of the way, and you immediately also feel that maybe getting bit by a werewolf isn't the, safest thing to do repeatedly.
No,
And-
for him not to, thanks.
Yeah, and then he will take one more claw attack against you. Does a 19 hit?
19 just hits.
Alright. That is 5 plus. So you take 9 slashing damage from that. And at the end of his turn, you see he just lets out this loud howl across the rain. I'm gonna need all of you to give me a wisdom save.
Thank you so much, Wigbert.
That's a 10. I failed.
Alright. Alright. So you
I also have
all like it is.
advantage. I also
Oh.
have advantage to avoid or end the charm condition in case that is relevant.
Oh,
Well, not for this. But good to know.
does Percy have the paladin thing where you get bonuses to saving throws?
Not yet. That's one more pally level.
No, but I do have a bonus of +1 because of the pin that I have
Yes.
from Wigbert that gives me a +1 to saves and a +1 to armor class, and I like it very much.
I was just
And I'm going to have words with the bastard about why he didn't give me this sooner.
Maybe the person wearing no armor could have also used the +1 to AC.
No, that's not how it works.
But yeah, you see, as he howls out, you like coming down the stairs, like just steel yourselves. But for you, this person is point blank in your face, just howling, and you are frightened. As long as you are within line of sight, you are frightened of this creature. You cannot willingly move towards it. Disadvantage in attacks, like the whole thing.
Sure.
And that is Werewolf's turn. It is Yoshu's turn.
Okay, so starting things off, since this dude is right up in my grill, I would like him to make, I assume he's going to succeed this, but you never know. Let's get a strength saving throw from him as I try to shove
A
him
strength
with my
save.
telekinetic push.
Oh, alright. Strength save.
Well, I try to remember what the DC is.
17 on the
That's-
strength save.
That's a success. It looks like
Like,
he has
you
a
like push back with your mind. He takes a step back and he just like... You're just like...
Yeah, that is right. It is 15. Okay. Okay, that's my bonus action. That blows. So as my action, I am going to disengage, and I'm going to run the fuck away.
You'll love to see it. Yeah, you disengage, and I'm assuming you take your full movement away.
Full movement away. I'm going to position
Oh.
myself behind Project and Percy and be like, okay, get it. It's right there, guys.
Okay, so you circle past him and like run behind him up the stairs and hide behind these two.
Exactly.
You can't really hide behind Project, but you know.
I
Didn't
mean,
we have Yehoshu's stuff with us?
You did.
Yeah, I have it. I think
Uh,
I'm carrying Yehoshu's stuff.
Yes, I believe so, because you were the only person with strength to carry shit.
I think that was right. Okay, cool. Just remember.
Yeah. That's fine, that's done. All right. That is your turn. Percy, you're up.
Right. So, question: how much would
Yes.
it take? Is it an action or a bonus action for me to hand Yehoshu his kit so he can be less naked?
I'll say it's an object interaction, so it's a free action.
Okay, cool. So, I'm going to look at Yehoshu and be like, "Old man, you're naked!" and hand over the pack.
To be fair, last session Yehushu did put on armor. But yeah.
I thought he was naked.
For most of the last session, Yehushu was naked, but he did go and make half plate finally.
He did make half plate,
Well,
but he's naked under the half plate, right?
No, I have clothes.
You got clothes, I think.
Yeah, he went back
I
to the
mean,
ship.
unless that's how you prefer to envision this scene, at which point I defer to your judgment.
I love the idea that the man just put half plate on a naked body,
Just a
but he's also
breastplate
very
on, and
smart. He's a very smart man, and I feel like maybe he wouldn't have put half plate directly on skin. I feel like Yehoshu would know better.
That's a lot of chafing. That's all I'm gonna say. That's a lot of chafing.
So, okay, so scratch what I just said. My apologies.
No worries.
The main thing I remembered from the last episode was basically Yehoshu running
That
around
is
naked.
fair.
So I apologize for that. It did get stuck in my brain.
Yeah,
I'm like,
killed by the project still doesn't wear any clothes at all.
yes, Project's always naked, so it's absolutely fine. Just we tend to wear clothes.
Like the same campaign, but Yehoshu just was naked the entire time.
Funny how, different, not the same somehow.
I accept all of your
tabaxis.
headcanon. That's all I'm saying. I accept your headcanon.
Anyways, I'm gonna take the pack for Yehoshu. Be like,
Yeah.
Yehoshu, I think you'll find your things in here. And just sort of hand it over to Yehoshu. Be like, right, going to have to deal with this ugly fellow. And then I would like.
The werewolf just looks at you like.
What is the
When you
range?
say
How
ugly.
far away did you say this person was?
From you, he'd be about 20 feet away now.
Okay. So, I would like to first throw my javelin.
Alright.
Well, that's. Why did it roll? Sorry, it rolls twice for some reason. That was unintentional.
Both miss.
Both are bad. I didn't mean to roll twice. I just wanted to hit
That's
once with
fine.
the javelin.
Yeah, you chuck a
so-
javelin, it goes fully wide as he just like ducks out of the way.
Cool. I'm gonna. All right then, and then I'm gonna try and close with. Gonna close and try and whack with my long sword.
Alright.
Much better. Why? Okay, my computer's being very slow and delayed, so I feel like
23.
you do things multiple times.
Wait,
It keeps rolling. It's rolling
yeah,
multiple times.
so I think the first hit was a 12, then a nat 20.
the first was the first that rolled for me was the nat 20. The 12
Okay.
came after.
Couple of things then. You like run in as like, his guard is fully down after dodging as you go for your slash. First thing you immediately, I feel like you probably have a flash of inspiration or like a flashback really back to your nightly like school training stuff, and where they did focus a lot on the theory aspect of knighthood as well. You didn't really pay attention, but you do recall there was a lesson on werewolves at some point, and one big thing was that if you do not have silver on you, run. And you immediately remember that your sword is not silvered in any way, and you go for the slash, however, and because it is a nat 20, and yeah, no, honestly, that is how we're gonna do this. Because it's a nat 20, I'll give you a choice
Smite.
of rolling between a religion or an arcana.
You realize I'm still exhausted, right?
I'll say take the advantage so it cancels out.
Okay. Well, they're both the same.
What are you feeling more out of
I
the two?
guess I'm feeling Arcana. I feel like Percy didn't pay much attention in religion.
Alright.
Well, shit.
Alright.
The 4.
So,
I also clearly paid attention in Arcana class.
now,
How he's still
I
alive.
will apologize to L the player because I'm about to drop a lot of work on you between rounds right now. But it is a good kind of work in this case. You go for your slash and you remember that, and you even midway through your slash you're like, wait a minute, I'm fucked. Like this isn't gonna do anything. And I think you hear a voice in your head that you haven't heard in it now. It's been a couple of weeks, maybe a few days at least. You hear that same voice you heard when that statue fell on you, as it just asks you, why are you fighting?
Right.
I
I think perhaps it would be a good idea if we all, decided to retreat on this occasion. I have assessed the damage and assessed the creature, and my scientific assessment has told me that, in fact, it would be best not to attack.
As you're saying this and getting like flustered and scared, you hear the voice again goes, it is a bold move. However, I feel you to know more things. Things that matter about this world. Things that matter about those you serve. A paladin champion in service of divine oaths and gods. She need not die in the middle of a rain all alone, helpless, with no aid from these gods you swear fealty to. With a beast thrashing in front of you.
This is all rather intense. Right?
Would you like some assistance?
I mean, I'd rather not die if that's an option on the table.
I can assist. I can show you a spark of truth, and that truth shall guide you. That truth shall grant you power enough to survive. And then if you wish to delve deeper, that is up to you.
Could I just run?
You can try. It is your choice after all. Fight and survive, or run and potentially survive.
So Percy runs this around in his head for a second. He's like, fight and survive, or run and potentially survive. One of they. I feel like you're trying to lead me in a particular direction. Here.
I simply wish for you to learn what you deserve to learn.
I mean, I deserve many things.
As do all that walk this earth. I am attempting to amend that, one brave soul at a time.
I've got to say, dear chap, you're not doing great on the whole, encouraging voice, soothing noises, making me feel like you're trustworthy. It may be a prejudice of our times, but I have to say you're not sounding the most encouraging. So I think I'm just going to run. Because I don't know what strings come with your proposition. So,
The
run.
only strings are the weight of the knowledge you receive. I ask for nothing else but to observe your actions.
Well, in that case, I mean, knowledge can't hurt, can it? Never hurt me before.
All right. So, are you running or not?
No, I'll
Are you
accept the
taking
knowledge
this?
since it doesn't come at a cost. As far as Percy's aware, it's
Okay.
I assume this is
In
all
this
just what
moment-
Percy said, right?
Yeah, this happens in a fraction of a
I
second.
don't know.
Just
I
making
feel
sure
like
that we
half
can't
of it is out loud. I feel like half of it is Percy just looking like a wild human.
Percy is talking at a miles a minute while he's swinging his blade down. And,
Hey, Percy, you want
Firstly-
your weapon to burn?
before that even, Percy, firstly, for this particular attack, your damage does go through.
Ooh.
Are you applying any smites or anything on this?
Smite,
Probably.
smite.
Okay,
Let's
So-
do a smite. Let's smite. Divine smite. Let's smite.
the way we do crits, roll your damage, add your modifier, roll your smite damage, and then we double the total.
Okay. Roll the damage. Okay. Add my smite damage. Excuse me. Okay. Where's my
Okay.
smite? Excuse me, I'm
You
just
have a
finding my
shield, so
smite.
one-handed. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
They will be
one-handed.
2d8 right now for first level.
I'm just trying to find my smite. Excuse me. There we go. Yeah, an 8 and a 6.
So 14 plus 11, so 25. So you double it to 50 damage on the smite. As your blade comes crashing down with this,
Fine.
like,
Nice.
just light flashes through your blade, and you like just cleave into this creature's shoulder, and he immediately looks fucked up. And as this
Look at that
happens,
Of course, I'm weapon is clearly silvered. So it starts to
Uh,
smoke. Like the weapon is slightly smoking and clearly,
So yes, by the way, you look down and your weapon does have a very fresh silver sheen to it that has just appeared. And on top of which, this is the part that you may not enjoy, but you level up.
What?
However, you don't choose what you level up in.
Okay.
You gain a level of Warlock.
Of what?
Warlock.
Warlock.
A warlock. Oh. Okay.
And
Okay.
particularly, your patron is the Forgotten Madness. So, Until we get back to your turn,
Couldn't hear any of that, L.
your mic fully pitched out.
Yeah, your mic pitched out.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I did go very high pitch there for a second. Let me try that again. You said there was not supposed to be any cost. What is this? Absolutely impossible.
Oh, it's tough knowledge. But yes, take a level of Warlock in the Forgotten Madness. You, luckily for first level Warlock, you don't have to pick too much shit. You get like 2 spells or some shit. The main thing is read the subclass features because those are a bit.
Okay, excuse me while I vanish for 10 minutes. I don't know how you multi-class on D&D Beyond. I presume
you'll have to go to your managed character and levels, and there'll be a little button under your class thing which just says add another class.
Okay, alright, I'll go and look at that.
And also, before that, you do still have one more swing if you want to take it. You have extra attack, I believe.
No, I attacked with a javelin.
Oh yes, you did. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sorry.
In that case, Project, you're up.
Well, I don't know anything of what just happened. That seemed like a pretty solid sword strike to me.
Yeah?
Yeah,
That was a pretty good hit.
job. Seemed like that worked really well. And yeah, I think Project's just gonna do what it always does. It's gonna zoom up in there and start bouncing, see if we can make any progress here. I don't think it knows the first thing about werewolves, because it knows medicine, not, cryptobiology.
Yeah, that would be like a nature proficiency, usually.
Your strikes are magical, it's fine.
I don't think they
They're
are
not.
yet.
Yeah,
Not until 6th level, I don't think.
I thought it was... Really?
5th gets extra attacks, 6th gets magical unarmed strikes. That's why monks feel underpowered.
I thought it was 4th. I thought it was...
Until level 6, and then they're amazing.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, I'm cheating a little, because I took a feat that made my martial arts die bigger than it should be. So even with that,
That's probably why I think you...
Oh, did you take a Tavern Brawl?
No, I
you took on
the,
a fighting,
the
yeah.
fighting style one, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that way I can change the fighting style once I finally get my martial arts die that high.
Me, Tan? Sorry, excuse my French. Jesus, Tan, this is terrifying.
Yeah, no, that's one of my, I made a bunch of, subclasses for this world. That's one of my favorite ones for sure. For context, for the other players and people watching, the Forgotten Madness is a lot of fun, but it's very, very scary. I'll get into, a couple of the features after combat, but I am worried for Percy now. But also, yes, for all your attack rolls, all 3 hit. But you see, as you're just bouncing in and out around this creature, and you're slamming into it, he seems completely unaffected by what you're doing.
Okay. That's just fine, because... Well, I mean, I would prefer to do hit point damage, obviously, but now that I'm level 5, I have one of the monk's
Stunning
tricks
Strike
up my sleeve. Stunning Strike, so let's go ahead and burn some key points here. One at a time to
that's
see if we can...
Constitution
The Constitution save, so probably not going to go super well since he's big and beefy, but I gotta try, right? That was a lot of damage he was putting out.
19 on the dice.
Okay, that's 1. I got 2 more tries.
You're doing a sonic strike on each of them?
Sure. Yeah.
Alright.
I mean, I gotta try and lock this guy down. That's what I do.
17 on the second one.
Okay. My DC is 14, so.
Alright. All 3 make it.
Okay. Fair enough. Had to try.
You're bellowing key through, and he's just taking it and just growling back at you, bleeding profusely from Percy's prior attack, and just angry at this point. That is your turn. It is then Dorian's turn. You know what? Here's what Dorian gonna do, because last time he used a couple of his bigger slots. He kind of stands up state still, very queasy and whatnot. Points at Project and is basically gonna cast Magic Weapon on you. So all your attacks, unarmed strikes, are gonna be a +1 and magical, and for the purposes of silvering, that will overpower the roll for that. Cool. And then he will use Meta Magic. Actually, no, he can't do that. Fuck. I forgot that he's basically out of resources because he's been in jail for weeks. That's his turn. Clang had started raging because he was raging while fighting the other bandits. Is gonna see that your attacks had no effect and looks at his own axe, which is also very much non-silver. Is actually gonna turn, and you see there were some there are bandits closing in around you even after Naladax kind of interfering, and he's gonna jump into their way essentially, and he will do an intimidating growl. As he just fight! And he just roars out, and you see a bunch of them just kind of stop, go, no, dead. And a couple of them just give him a wide berth and stuff. A few of them don't, and they just run towards him instead. And he will. That counts as one of his attacks. He'll use the second one to do a reckless attack against the guy. Misses. He's just wildly swinging around while yelling, essentially. But that would be his turn. From there we go to top of the turn order. I have to do a couple rolls first for Morgan. How's that's going? Alright. He's successfully sneaked his way over to the cage. He's just figuring out how to open it up essentially. Nuladax. He's still keeping the majority of the bandits occupied. And lastly, I will roll for this. Okay, you do see the portal is beginning to flicker, and you're not sure. Poles usually don't even stay open that long. They usually just open for a fraction of time and close as people go through it. Lunasa clearly did something with it to make it last a little longer to let the refugees and the troops through it, but even that magic seems to have a bit of a limit. But yeah, it's only started to flicker, it's still there. And there we go to the werewolf's turn, who will, now that he has been very bloodied after that hit, goes into essentially this frenzy, this fully blood-crazed frenzy, and is gonna make yeah. He's gonna make a bite attack first against Percy.
Great. This is the day that Percy becomes both a warlock and a werewolf. We're gonna have to start calling him Whittle Worsty.
Unnatural 20 to hit.
Well, that'll hit. I think that's the
unnatural.
Rule. Unnatural. Field.
All right. You cast shield.
I'm not becoming a werewolf.
Your shield literally gets a bubble around it and just pushes his face back, and he just looks back at you and goes for 2 white sweeping claw attacks on you. That is gonna miss. Then 21 will also miss you with shield, I believe.
Correct. I'm at 20.
Yeah.
I'm at 24 currently.
Yeah. You put your shield up and you immediately see all of his, like, just frustration and anger just bouncing against his bubble shield. And then he'll howl again at the end of his turn, but, like, it's not affecting you guys anymore because you kind of get, like, immunity to it after succeeding. You do hear, however, after that howl, about like a second later in the distance, very faint, smaller howls going off across the woods. And that is his turn. That was very good, though. That shield basically cancelled his turn. Yehoshu, you're up.
Okay. Well, it's good to see that numbers can actually do some damage now. Clang, you're looking as though you aren't doing too well striking that dude, so I'm going to give you an assistance. And then I'm going to use my action to infuse Clang's weapon in Hellfire. I'm using the Forged in Hellfire action.
Ooh, alright.
So that's going to make his weapon magical and give it a plus 1d6 fire damage.
Mm-hmm. For sure. For a minute, right?
Yeah, for a minute.
Awesome. Yeah, that works.
Mm-hmm. So I look over him and I look at that weapon and I'm like, Clang, your weapon just isn't doing a whole lot of damage. You need to get an upgrade, buddy. And I'll just snap my fingers and whoosh, his weapon just bursts in blackish flames.
He just looks down at it, looks back at you just like astounded, turns to the bandit he's facing, and just goes for like a free swipe as he just like, cuts into him, looks back at you. I like this. I like you. And he just like is now doing celebratory swings with his axe. Just watching, like he's enjoying watching the flame go whoosh essentially, and he's quite happy with it now.
Yeah, go get it, buddy. That's my action.
Yeah.
My bonus action, I'm going to command my construct to send a firebolt at the critter, at the werewolf.
Yeah, go for it.
We're using mine just because it's the same number. So that would be a 19 to hit. Cool
Yeah,
beans.
that is.
Here's the damage real quick. It's a lot of damage. Damn it. I lost the thing. Give me 1 second. There it is. So that would be 3 plus proficiency, so 6 points of fire damage to the werewolf.
Alright. Yeah, just like this, again, like this bluish black flame just comes and crashes into his shoulder as he just, again, like he just snarls towards your construct now. Absolutely fucked him with that one pally crit. And everything since that is just like, putting him down one by one. Just, he's not looking good.
And then Yehosh will just move a little bit just to keep themselves, keep people between them and the werewolf, just to keep, that going on. But other than that, he'll just yell out, "Down, boy, down!" That's my turn.
All right. It is then Percy's turn.
Need to go. And
Your mic
I want
peaked a
to-
little.
Yep.
I did, damn it. Right, let me just move my microphone away from me. Right. From here. Try that again. Right. Do you think maybe we should go, chaps? It looks like things are getting a bit spicy. Looks at you, Hoshu.
Werewolf, kill.
Werewolf? Kill? Right. Okay. Bad werewolf. And I'm going to whack the werewolf with my now silvered longsword. Is it? Do I get the impression that it's gonna stay silvered or no?
Yeah, very much so.
Okay.
Also, just to remind you, like I know, like you haven't had like a lot of time with this yet, but remember you have to add 2 cantrips and 2 spells as well.
Yeah, I'll get to that.
I know. But yeah, go for the swing.
The 17 to hit.
17 hits.
And then I think the damage, I think it rolled it 2. Yeah. I think so.
11
Yeah,
points of damage, looks like.
11 damage.
Right.
Are you adding anything to this?
No,
Or
we'll just have
is
that
that
for the
alright?
first one. And then I'll hit
Yeah,
attack again
roll to hit.
with the longsword again. Oh, that's not great. Oh, well.
15 hits.
Okay.
You see, you like basically like square up against this werewolf. You bring your sword down again, and this time it again. You see, literally, like its flesh like sizzles at the silver, like
Okay.
literally like smoke comes out of it as he's like pushes back as he like looks back and essentially like roars at your face. You just like drive your blade through, and you see the werewolf goes limp against your blade.
Limp. Okay. I would like to.
Yeah.
I would like
Go on.
to, more for flavor than anything, despite myself, I would like to do my warlock bonus act. I would like that to happen, though I'm not choosing it. I would really like
I
it.
see.
If, if suddenly, involuntarily, the werewolf suddenly becomes this horrifying, monstrous creature with tendrils appearing on its body and melted flesh all over its skin.
Can't tell if
And-
that was my net, but wait, hold on.
Oh.
Everything froze for a second. That was weird. Oh, there you go.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apologies.
I would really
you
like-
cast Warp Flesh.
Yeah. Accidentally.
You. Yeah. The rest of you just see this werewolf as he gets stabbed through like the gut, essentially. Parts of its shoulder and arm begin to like undulate and warp as they turn into this weird fleshy amalgamation of eyes, mouths, and more like tiny limbs coming out of those eyes and mouths. And it is a horrifying sight for a moment. And in that moment, Percy, you feel completely connected to this creature. Like you can sense everything it is sensing in this moment. And yeah. And you immediately also get horrified. You don't feel the same pain in your gut after like the first like split second. You mostly gather its senses in the terms of literally like sight, sound, memories even. And you catch a flash of what you know is Lanessia talking to him, like Logan, while he seems to be much smaller, probably in his like, humanoid state, explaining to him the plan and how once they make it inside of the Imperial Palace, it's just a matter of time of buying time from the gods and finding a sacrifice.
We've got to go to the palace. And Percy is crying, and not used to being. Percy has built his whole life on being. His whole life he was sort of above everybody, despite not really understanding what that meant, not understanding his privilege and his position. but just was always sort of floating above everything. And for the first time in his life, in a really significant way, he has been able to live literally in the shoes of this other person who is much less fortunate than him and who is now dying. And so is feeling very overwhelmed and suddenly finds himself crying without understanding how this is happening, and feels brought back to a time when he was a small child and connected to that sort of that place of intense vulnerability and incomprehension at the vastness of the world. And at the same time, he has received this piece of important information, and he looks at the others and he says, Lanesia's in the Imperial Palace. We need to go through that portal. They're looking for a sacrifice.
When you say that, Dorian perks up, just like very much like, what? And he just looks at you then. In that case, we must make haste. And you see he just starts like moving immediately as you say that.
Yeah.
What about the rest of you? What are you doing as you hear this news?
Are you okay? You seem pretty overwhelmed. Do you need a moment? I mean, I know this is important, but you gotta take care of you first before you take care of everybody else, right? You can't help them if you're panicking. Do we need to just sit? We can breathe for a while. You're gonna be okay. It's okay. I promise.
I don't think we have time, Numbers. We don't have time. No, I'm definitely not okay. I think I did that. And I'm gonna look at like the horrifying flesh monster that is now Logan.
It's basically like the werewolf's corpse where parts of it have warped very unnaturally. But yeah.
I'm gonna Numbers, I did that. And I don't know how. But I did that.
I don't suppose taking a nap is an option.
We can get through the portal before it closes, and then if we can find a moment of respite, then so be it. But we cannot wait long. They are indeed already in the palace.
We've got to go.
Yeah,
you see like, yeah. You see like bandits kind of closing in. Around that time, you see Morgan has broken open the cage. Like, he basically, you see, at one point gave up on, like, lockpicking. And he saw that you guys killed the werewolf, so he just pulls out a flintlock and shoots the lock. And he starts letting people out, like in a hurry, essentially. And as people are making their way out, the bandits immediately go like, shit! Like, they lost the reason of even coming in after their boss, essentially. Because they can't just show up empty-handed. Boss is going to use them instead of the refugees then. So you see, they just scatter. And you see Norodax nabs a couple of them on the retreat and like just takes pot shots and gets a few of them. You see Clang starts holding a couple hand axes as well. And he... like you see Norodax, Clang, Morgan all kind of like, regroup with you guys also. Kind of like having this discussion. And all of your eyes start to the portal, which is at this point shimmering and slowly closing on itself. And Morgan kind of just takes a deep breath, like, alright, fine. And Dorian looks at the three of you specifically and just goes, what are we doing then?
Seems
Run.
like we're going through.
Through the portal.
Alright. And all of you band up together, and as you start to like make your way, you also see Sly just kind of speaks up and tells you guys, ship is still here, and we also have to get all of these people back to their towns. You guys
You go
go on
fine.
ahead. I'm gonna get these refugees out of here.
Thank you. Well, see you in the capital, assuming we make it out of this.
Yeah, I mean, I have to get paid too.
I don't suppose anybody's got any healing potions or anything. I'm a little jacked up right now. I'm like, I literally have a werewolf bite in my neck. It's oozing. My new armor's getting wrecked. It's
I'm gonna lay on hands.
Yeah.
All I can do. But I'm gonna suggest that perhaps I offer to lay on hands, and I'm not sure how Yahoshu feels about that after what just happened with with Logan.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure about what's gonna happen, so I'm gonna say I could try to heal you, but I'm not sure I trust myself right now.
Yahoshu will kind of walk up to Percy and put a hand on their shoulder and just say, "You're not the first weird tentacle thing I've ever seen. It's cool."
Yeah, I mean, I'm right here.
Exactly.
Percy's gonna, despite himself, just, let out a little laugh. And I'm going to heal Yahoshu for 15
I will take it.
hit points.
Alright.
Just trying to save a little juice for in case of
Mhm.
emergency.
Yeah, hold on to your extra juice. That helps out a little bit. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You all make your way through the portal. And as you kind of jump through, it takes a minute for your eyes to adjust to slightly different lighting. But you seem to be in almost like a alcove off the side of a hallway. Somewhere indoors, you're on marble floor. The walls look beautifully adorned with different kinds of tapestries, paintings, stuff like that. And as you all kind of get through, you don't see any sign of anyone else around you here. It's kind of dimly lit. You can tell it's maybe later in the evening at the very least, and there's a couple of braziers and stuff lit up around. And Dorian kind of looks around the place. He's like, "Oh my gosh!" And he eyes all of you for a moment and asks, "You all good for another fight? Do we actually need a breather right now?"
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of tapped out, but I don't know how much time we actually have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in the best shape, but I can keep going if we have to.
What I saw, what Logan saw was Venetia said they had to lay low until they could find a suitable sacrifice. I don't know how much time that means we have.
Well, the palace is labyrinthian by nature. It's supposed to be hard for trespassers to navigate their way through this place. And that's not to say anything of the guards and all of the abjurated magic across this entire place. I haven't been back in some time, but I'm still relatively familiar with where things are. So, if we need to quickly tend to ourselves before moving, we might be able to rest that much time. If not, proper rest. Some triage, if need be. And mechanically speaking, you guys can keep moving to stay hot on their trail kind of a thing. Or you can allow yourselves a short rest at the very least, and you might get a little further behind, but probably not too much. It's a slight risk, but not a very big one. Long resting would be very, very risky, obviously. You sleeping for 8 hours, maybe not the best move.
I mean, I only need
yeah.
4, but you know.
You know what I mean. But yeah. So people want to take a short rest? Let me know.
Do we want to take a short rest?
Might be a good idea.
I mean, how are you feeling after those werewolf bites? That seemed intense.
I mean, if we're really thinking about it, I feel like I'm about 4/5 as good as I could be right now. But in all honesty, like me resting will get me a little bit, but not a whole lot. I feel like resting helps some of you better than me, but it would help me a little, but not a lot.
I mean, if I had a few minutes to meditate,
You do
I
see
could
your
probably-
other companions are also pretty busted up.
So yeah, why don't we take a short rest?
Like Clank, Dorian, Nanodax, Morgan, all of them look a little wounded.
Short rest it is.
Fair
Alright.
enough.
So yeah, you guys can take a short rest. You can mark your hit dice for any healing that you might need. Whatever else features and stuff like that. And you guys basically like you're in like this alcove like edge of the hallway, and you just kind of like take watch, like take a like seat here and just quickly like bandage yourselves up, like drink some water, that kind of stuff. And what feels eerie, I'll say more than anything, I feel like Percy, you'd like notice this more. Like you're a little out of sorts, but you still like pick up on that. Like you're used to being in at the very least noble houses and stuff. It is weird that you guys have sat in a hallway in this place for an hour and not a single guard patrol has even gone by. Like that seems wild to you. Especially in like, the Imperial Palace of all things. But beyond that, yeah, it's just quiet. And unless anyone has anything specific to do, yeah, you guys rest up, and like as you're getting back up, equipping your stuff again, you see.
I've done my spells, by the way.
Awesome. Leveling on the
Cool.
fly.
They're all lovely.
All right.
Let me roll my hit dice. Sorry, I forgot where it is. I have a few things to do,
Mm-hmm.
Where's the hit dice that you roll? Where can I? Oh, I'm just gonna roll regular d6s, I guess, right?
There's a button for
Yeah.
short rest up at the top.
Oh, there is?
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
on the
short
sheet
rest!
itself, yeah.
I see it! Yeah!
Ooh, you took the standard Warlock once. Interesting. That makes sense actually for your build, yeah. Nice.
A paladin with a hex ability, I think is dope.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many did I say? That was 8? Gaining 8. Oh, I only rolled 1. That wasn't intentional. Okay. It
All right.
wasn't applied it. Okay. Let's just do that.
Cool. So, as you'll finish your rest, you start to make your way through this place. As Dorian kind of like, takes point a little, like starts like checking particular corridors. You see him like just peeking down certain rooms, and after like 5-10 minutes, he just looks around, goes, "Unless things have changed a lot, this is not good." And you see, he also looks much better after that short rest now, and he just goes, "I don't exactly know what all is happening here, but would imagine," and like looks at Percy and says, "You seem like you know the person the leader took with them." But if they are known to you or your house, they might have enough of recognition to help them lead them across certain passageways within this place. Let's hope that's all the use they have. All this talk you have about a sacrifice also doesn't bode well for your companion.
Yeah,
But
I was actually going to ask about that. Percy, didn't I see your manservant back there?
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
So, didn't we leave the dude with the person we took the wagon from? Didn't we leave him at their house? How the heck did they get to the place before us?
I don't know.
It kind of makes me think that dude, the wagon owner, must be somehow in league with them.
Well, I mean, they can make portals, right? Could they have just portaled to wherever he was and...
you see Project when you say that, like Dorian like nods and goes, "I don't know how much you know about this Silver Talon, but when me and my troop ran into them, the leader seems quite adept with the arcane. And is a pretty decent fighter as well. She herself was more than capable of dispatching most of my group on her own. And she had help." And kind of looks around and just goes, "They're looking for something here in particular. Is there anything the leader spoke to you about? Anything they interrogated you for, perhaps?"
They wanted us to join them. Remind me, Ten, if there's anything. It was a while back now,
Yeah,
so
fair
I
enough.
apologize. But I remember that we discussed. My memory was that she kept on trying to get us to join, and we pretty stubbornly were like, no.
Yeah. So I'll say because it's like very fresh, like it just happened, like for your characters, like you don't have to like roll history or anything. But you remember she was asking you to join, but when you were being stubborn, she also gave you choices in how you can be of help. One of the choices was to go depose of the of Lindleberry's like town head, essentially. Like basically put them back in charge, kind of a situation. One of the things was like, yeah, okay, join them, kill someone, all of that shit. But the last option that was given to you was, since you're technically working for the Empire, make your way there and procure a specific item or artifact that as your reward from the Emperor, or steal it off of him if that doesn't work. That was the last thing that was like asked of you. And you were told that it's probably something that the Emperor keeps on his person. If not, then it's in a vault, but that was Linus's bet, that probably on his person, you can just ask him.
Okay. Something from the Emperor? But again, we were supposed to get something from the...
You see, Dorian just like goes, that can be quite a few things. Ever since my father helped end the Draconic Wars, he was given many gifts from many different places and kingdoms, even. When he formed the Empire, all of the vassal kingdoms also gave him many different artifacts. That's not even to say all the things he earned and found while he made a name for himself as, the hero king. His blade, the rings he wears, all of those are magical artifacts in their own right. I am not entirely sure what all of them are capable of, though. If it is one of those things, particularly, that is being looked for, then your guess would be as good as mine, but if it is on my father's person, then wouldn't that mean that they're looking for my father?
That's probably good news for us then, at least. I mean, he's almost certainly better protected than anyone else in the palace.
I mean, yes, and beyond that even, probably one of the most powerful people in the palace. Yes, he's older now, but he was still the hero king. With all those items and his own power at his side, I have not known a more powerful warrior than him.
But
And while this Lanessia was strong, I doubt she can best him.
well, two things. One, why haven't we seen any guards in the hallway this whole time we've been resting?
That's the thing. If they
And
did
thing
come
two-
through this, yeah. He just stops.
You could have been used as collateral. Maybe the
I was kept
king.
alive.
Yeah. So maybe Wigbert is going to be a sit-in for you or something.
I mean no offense, but I do not believe the Emperor would see your companion as collateral.
But if he looked like you,
Couldn't Lanessia do that with any of her men as well?
she could. But
Hmm.
I would suggest that perhaps Wigbert is more well versed in the manners of nobility than any of your men.
And not to sound horrible, but presumably more expendable to her than her own troops.
I mean, while I was captured for those few weeks, I've seen her kill her troops as well. Certainly didn't seem to mind killing people who stepped out of line.
Well, that's just bad leadership.
Yeah, lots
Can't
of
go around killing your
turnover.
guys. The rest of them won't be loyal.
Fear seems to be a very strong driving force for organizations that don't last long. And from her goals, I don't think she needs her organization for too long now. Well, regardless of what it may be, you might be onto something there, Percival, but an alternative could be they might be looking for a way to perhaps attain this magical artifact without directly engaging my father. Either by trickery or even incapacitation. Or maybe the end goal isn't finding that object, but the object is a means to an end in itself. And he just
Who
gets
knows?
quiet. You see, he's just running through every scenario in this panic state. And regardless, I think if it is objects that are being looked for, two places we can go to are either my father's hall, not his bedchambers, but his hall, or we can go to the antechamber leading into the various vaults underneath the palace. You also would remember that she was asking for the statue you guys secured at the ship. And if you share that with Dorian, he would also go, if it is a religious matter, that would also incline me to lead to the old shrine vaults, which would also be in the same antechamber. Or, well, be led in from the same antechamber. I'm not sure where to go first. So, for you guys,
I think she wanted a religious sacrifice. She said to Logan that they were looking for the right sacrifice. To me, that suggests religious-related sacrifice.
Alright. He kind of nods at that, and you guys, like, he still seems confused, but you guys have the choice before you, basically. Like, do you wanna first try to just run through like the upper end of the palace into like the hallways and stuff, like trying to look for the emperor? Or do you want to go to this antechamber that leads into the different vaults and like the treasury and also the like shrine, essentially, that's underneath?
I mean,
Mhm.
Shu is pretty much less concerned about the Emperor, so Vault sounds like a fun time.
All right.
I think Percy is now very it's for the first time in his whole life a real sense of like responsibility, which is new and overwhelming for him. I think he's still dealing with like, because I think he lived the moment of Logan being like rent by him as well as the moment of the pain of the warped flesh. So I
Yeah.
think I would like to see if I can use my divine sense to get a sense of if there's like of what direction we should go in.
Okay. So within the 60 feet of you, there is nothing that Divine Sense would pick up specifically, like apart from your own party. But
Even
I'll s-
even below, like in floors below.
yeah, with the 60 feet thing, yeah. But because you're kind of looking at it as like a means to like find a trail, essentially, I'll
Yeah.
let you roll me a religion check to
Well,
try to like get
I think it's only
traces.
long rest that gets rid of my exhaustion. So
Correct.
let's see how that goes. I'm rolling, so that's an 11, and then I have disadvantage, so it can only get worse, basically. It's an 11. It's an 11.
Okay. Within 11, you don't like pick up like any direct signs around you, but you do gather that something with the presences of both fiendish and celestial went through this hallway recently.
Did I get a direction?
No. It's like just like this hallway seems to have like faint traces around you. Like no like particular direction.
Does the trail lead back to Yehoshu? Because Yehoshu's both
No.
celestial and infernal.
So that's the thing. This the party stuff was immediately picked up by Divine Sense. This is beyond the party.
Yeah. It was just fun.
I know.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way came. I can sense the presence of something both fiendish and celestial. Not you, Yehoshu. Through this hallway. It's a disconcerting sense. That's all I know.
Well, that sounds like the best lead we've got right now.
Yep.
All right. So where are you going?
Following
So it's
Percy's
Vault
trail.
or King? I must suggest we head for the King, is what Percy's going to suggest. But he will also has feeling a little bit more humble at the moment. So again, new sensation for Percy.
Yeah.
Is going to look at Yehoshu and numbers and say, I'm not sure, but maybe we're walking into a trap, and maybe we shouldn't bring Dorian to the King. That might be a mistake, but I do think we should go and see if there's anything we can find or do.
Okay. Well, one
All
vote
right.
for the king, one vote for the vaults. Project, what do you think?
Oh no. Can't put this on me. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes you the perfect candidate to make a decision.
Uninformed decisions are the best decisions.
I feel like, based on what we've heard, the king is probably safe, given his whole deal.
Mhm.
So if we wish to find your friend, it's probably more likely that we'll find him downstairs, because presumably a sacrifice would be needed to bypass security or something. Just throwing him at the king, I can't see how that would do anything. So I think I gotta vote downstairs, but that's just pure, guesswork.
I'll even sweeten the idea, Purse. If we're heading down to the vaults, chances are we might find a better weapon for you to use.
Then a longsword?
Yeah, like maybe a magic one or something. Just saying, it's a
Fair
vault.
point. Fair point. I trust your judgment. And I would like. I will follow. I will stay with the prince.
Alright.
Sorry, Dorian.
I mean, yeah, both are accurate, but yes. Cool. You guys start moving your way through, and hold on. All right. You guys make your way through a series of corridors. Now, are you trying to kind of like move through this place quietly, like just very subtly make your way to the vaults, or are you not attempting to conceal yourselves?
I'm not great at stealth, but we could try.
I feel like none
Up
of
to
us
you.
are really good at stealth, but
Cool.
I mean, speak for yourself. I'm a liquid. All I have to do is just flatten out.
I
Oh,
stand
you do
Could
have.
you wrap your liquid self around all the clanky bits of my armor?
Oh, you know what? If Project can do a sleight of hand check, I will allow that.
Alright, sure. I don't have that one, but why not, right?
Why not?
Well, alright.
That's fair.
Yeah, no. Now, as you're trying to do that, it's instead of clanking, it's a splashing sound.
Just real gummed up. It gets hard to
Yeah,
It was
just
worth a
joints
try.
in
It
your
was
armor
worth a
are full
try.
of goo.
But you do have allies here with you, and Morgan can cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
So he will give a +10 to stealth checks for everyone.
like it.
Great.
Good job,
All
Morgan.
right. Let me...
Thank you. That's
He
lovely.
just looks at you and just goes, better than dying.
So that would be a 15 for Shu.
I'm glad he cast the spell, is all I'm gonna say looking at the...
a 25.
Be a 17 for me.
15, 17, 25. Now Dax is...
I'm a
Pretty.
7.
I love it.
Yeah, sure. Clangy. We're clangy beans.
Yeah, you know. Just as he's walking, he's like just occasionally smacking his breastplate just because he likes having it again.
Just for fun.
Yeah, just for fun. I'm so happy to have armor again.
Uh,
I'm glad my dick isn't hanging out anymore. This is so much better.
As are we all, Yehoshu.
oh.
What the big deal is, it's just more anatomy.
Yeah,
You've
but
got all these parts, it's ridiculous.
I know, and some of them are more sensitive than others. You're so much more efficient and streamlined project. It's
Well,
Well-rounded. But yeah, you guys are making your way through as quiet as you can be with the assistance of your ally. And you do realize, like, Dorian wasn't kidding. This place is a fucking labyrinth. Corridors kind of walking in on each other. Some floors you can only access by going through the right portals and stuff like that. If you take the wrong portals, it's just a death hole. Like the lower end of the palace is very much designed to just deal with trespassers. And as you're working further and further downstairs, you see the traps are getting more frequent. Now, Dorian knows a lot, but he isn't fully up to date on all of the traps. And I will ask any one of you to give me a perception check.
Oh, who's good at that?
I've got a +4.
Okay.
I'm
Definitely
sitting
you
on
over me.
6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, go for it then.
Yeah, monk's wisdom.
Yeah.
But okay, all right. Not the best die,
All
but
right.
it could be worse.
On a 17, you do notice, like, while wandering your way through, there are a couple of, like, glyphs very casually creased in on the ground that, like, you see Dorian did not spot and is about to walk over them. Do you, like, call it out to him?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean,
Yeah,
like, I'm not gonna let him just walk into a pit trap or whatever.
Yeah,
This
you
is our
call out,
guy.
he's just like, yeah, he looks around, he's like, oh, fuck, and, like, he just stops and, like, skirts around it, and, about an hour of this kind of, like, up and down travel passes through. And you find yourselves like at like seeing this end of a hallway finally after this dimly lit passageway. Mostly every now and then you even see a couple of guard patrols going by and you kind of avoid them and keep moving further down. You see at the end of the hallway it's very fucking bright, and you make your way through and you come into like this open room where like this circular almost like octagonal like open room where the entire place is lit up with this shimmering golden light coming from these different crystals embedded into the ceiling. And there is a beautiful tapestry over the entire not a tapestry, what would you call it, a mural, like a big mural like made over the ceiling of what looks like a massive battle of a kind. It's depicting 12 very oddly shaped different like individuals wearing very distinctive equipment and stuff, facing off against 11 other individuals of the same kind. And I'll say like just like looking up, you guys would like at the very least recognize a few of the depictions up there. Yes. But you see a few depictions up there of what look like gods. Like you see depictions of like Ilmater, the god of mercy. You see Bahamut, the platinum dragon, and you start like noticing a couple of these like images across the 11 gods that you like kind of like partially recognize, and you can kind of gather others also probably gods you haven't heard about. Like none of you are like clerics, and I'll say Percy did not really focus on religion classes, so and the other end of the 12 also look very godly in their own rights, but they seem accompanied by darker things as well. You see like kind of under their command fiends and all kinds of like devils marching in unison, and like this entire enormous ceiling, like this domed ceiling, is just a great battle that's taking place, and underneath that battle you just see a depiction of mortals suffering in this crossfire. And I'll say at the very least, like at some point when Percy would have gone to any temple or shrine, you might have like seen in at least the bigger ones similar depictions sometimes there. but a lot of details here are different. Like which god is depicted where is very different, and you see the 12 essentially are in league with devils almost, and feels weird. And you look in front of you finally, as like your gaze kind of like darts down. There are many different like enormous, like 20 feet tall doorways that are closed with big glowing arcane seals placed onto them. And like Dorian just like mutters under his breath, "These would be the wolves." And like one of the ones on the left of you, you see is like this golden door with a similar seal. And he points to that one and says, "That's one of the family shrines. No one else is usually allowed in. Apparently, Father has or had been quite pious during the war, and many scripts and objects are left within the shrine. He calls them memorabilia almost, but I know that a lot of them are far older than him." And he just looks and he's like, places his hand onto the door and tries to open it, and it doesn't open to his touch. As you see popping up, words in Celestial begin to like take form, like prayers and tenets and other like scripture. And as they slowly begin to like take form, if someone speaks Celestial, good. If even if you don't, you have Dorian here to translate. But yeah, in that case, you can do it. But as you begin to like look that over, you see it is a multi-level seal, password based almost. And as you start dreaming that, Dorian just mutters like, "Sounds like Father changed some things indeed." And we can take a little break there as you guys start like looking down this doorway on how to get in. And yeah, you are in the palace. We'll see how this goes.
Sounds like fun.
Yay!
Yay is right. A lot of shit happened.
Cool.
Wait. Hello. Once again, we are back. And we jump right back in on Light of Cinders, where we had left our adventurers in the deep hallway dungeons of the Imperial Palace in Zealous. You have made your way to the antechamber, the entrance to the different vaults of different reasons and kinds, and one of these is the family shrine, which apparently Dorian was not told that his dad changed all the passwords on. And you see, as even he interacts, you see all of the celestial script appearing, and essentially, these are different prayers to multiple gods here. There are prayers to Bahamut, to Helm, to Torm, all of these very militaristic, justice-oriented gods in different ways, like duty, justice, that kind of thing. It is odd that one shrine is dedicated to all of these, but you see beyond the prayers, it simply says, "For those that seek entry into House Sinet, carry the blood of Sinet upon yourselves." And to that, Dorian kind of just goes like, "That's me." And for those not blessed by the accords of the bloodline, prove an ally to this house and show fealty that you have already gained our trust. And you see Da-da-da-da-da. It's basically like to put into like equivalent terms, it's like multiple layers of password protect on this thing, and
Mhm.
the first one that you see looks like a simple riddle in Celestial. Yeah. You just see it says, when you have me, you want to share me. But if you share me, you don't have me. What am I?
I feel like that sounds like time.
Do you say that out loud?
It could be a few things.
I was
but
saying
yeah.
that conversationally to them, yeah.
Okay. As you say it, like, to them, even conversation, you say it out loud in front of this doorway, you see the celestial text begins to glow, and I need a wisdom save from you.
Wisdom save. That would be a nat 20.
You, in this moment, feel something's wrong. You feel the text begins to glow, and for a minute you feel the room getting brighter. And as you look around, you feel like something's about to quite literally hit you. Like that sense at the back of your head kind of perks up, just like literally a danger sense. And you instinctively, like almost like take a back step, but it's not something to dodge. Something was coming at you from within almost, and then you see your celestial blood alights as you all see like this, like just lines of blue running across Matt's face and shoulders, not Yoshu's face and shoulders, and you immediately realize something was trying to smite you.
Oh,
And
shit.
your celestial blood essentially acted as a safe passage through that smite right now. And you realize that, yeah, if you say anything phrased in the sense of, oh, it has to be, oh, I think the answer is, and then you follow it by saying something in front of this doorway, it is registering it as an answer.
Everyone see Yehoshu grab their head for a second, then like puts their fingers to their lips and tells everyone back up.
Yeah?
I'll follow.
Yeah, as soon as we're far enough away from that door, like, okay, loose lips get brain fucked. Let's not do that.
Are you okay?
I am, but I feel like I just had a very, very, very narrow dodge, and I would prefer not to have to do that. So, yeah. That sucked for me.
You also do realize that, yeah, your celestial blood protected you, but if you had gotten smited, it would have been probably worse for you because of your fiendish blood.
More likely, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
also, like, don't get me wrong, I'm really, really intelligent, but not the wisest these days, and so I'm probably not going to talk in front of that door again. Just saying.
Okay, fair.
Well, I mean, not to obviate the problem, but the whole reason we came down here is because we thought the bad guys might be down here, and it doesn't seem like they're down here, and, I mean, would we be able to tell if they closed the door behind them? Maybe we don't even need to go in there.
Ooh, good
I'll
point.
try divine. I could try to sense the presence of anything again. But it does provide total cover, that door, so I'm not sure I'd be able to see what's through it.
Also, like, to that point, Project, like, you would see Dorian kind of speaks up and goes, "You could be right about that, but if they did make their way through, they could have resealed the door behind them. And alternatively, if they haven't made their way through, and are in fact coming here, we can try and get ahead of them, but... and like again, he just like looks down. Like he still has all of his exhaustion. He's just like, I'm still not sure, really, but
Question.
they could be lost.
I would love to find a potion of like
Like a vitality
greater
potion.
healing or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do restoration anymore.
This very powerful mage is just really, really tired.
Like, could we get a greater restoration going here? I look. I'm not the brightest. What am I saying? I'm very clever. I think that if we just say words without context, the door might not detect what the context of the words are. So if we speak without context, perhaps we'll be fine. For example, hope?
Hmm?
Or money? Though, sharing would not mean you have none of it.
That depends on how much you
Time
share, I suppose.
Was pretty good. True. Depends how much you share it. Correct.
I was kind of thinking of like a meal, because if you do share a meal, then you ate it all and you don't have it anymore.
That also makes sense. Food. But perhaps we should look at Dorian. Dorian, how does your father think? What would it be? Something royal, like power, for example?
Oh yeah, that would be a king choice, huh?
Oh, well, honestly, it depends on the day, really. The last password, the one that I attempted, really, was, and he kind of like thinks for a moment, and he just says, yeah, holy shit, yeah, the last password was power. But he says, that I tried, it didn't harm me because I am, well, safe. But I'm also not the one being asked for a password. You're the ones who, when you walk the threshold, will have to know it.
So, just out of curiosity, is there any evidence that we can see in this area, be up to the door, that might make us think that the bad guys got here already? Are there like footprints in dust? Is there any drops of anything out of the ordinary?
It is a marble floor, so footprints would be probably pretty difficult. But you can roll me an investigate.
Sure.
Can I help?
Oh,
I will
you can
accept
give
that.
advantage.
I'm going to help by staying out of the way and not making more footprints.
I will take that and return it with a dirty 20.
All right. With a dirty 20, like you're in the antechamber. Like there's other rooms here, is the thing. There are other like vault entrances and stuff like that. You can tell the room is quite heavily used in that regard. Like, you know, the marble like polish has kind of like dulled in places. You see all of the doors like none of the doors here look dusty or anything. Like all of them seem to have at the very least been recently opened and closed. You don't see any particular like, you know, signs of struggle, or you know, you don't see any scratches, footprints, or anything like that. But the room itself does look like it's at the very least seen recent traffic, or over time a lot of traffic. So it's up to your judgment based on that.
It's a little bit inconclusive. I feel like we should just try to get past this door. If they're in there, deal with them head on. If not, maybe lie in wait and prepare ourselves for an ambush, because you know how well those go for us. What do y'all
Yeah,
think?
can't argue with
Everyone
that.
has a flashback.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, thoughts?
so,
Yeah, if it seems like a lot of people have been through and it's difficult to tell, then I don't think we really have a choice but to try and go. So, yeah, we gotta figure this out, I guess. Oh. And there's not really a safe way to test it either, huh? Because if you get close and do the thing, it'll just zap you.
if you get it wrong, I suppose there are countermeasures in place.
I'd like to try something out of left field.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
It asks me to show my fealty, right?
Yeah.
So can I go and walk up to the threshold and cut open my hand and let blood
Okay.
fall onto the seal? Because I'm a warlock
All
now,
right.
so you know.
Immediately leaning into it.
I'm a warlock
yeah.
now.
You do that, and your blood begins to drip down. And you, well, actually, first, as you do this, I'm gonna need a, this would be a religion check.
Great. Love that for me. Okay, and that's not the charisma modifier one. That's Arcana or
No.
history, so I do religion. Okay, I'm just checking, trying to remember my things.
Mm-hmm.
11.
You do that, and there's no like immediate like response or anything from the door as you take 1 damage. And you see the two like kind of pillars, almost kind of columns coming out of the door frame sides, begin to glow with these bluish sigils. And yeah, Yoshi, you read. Well, yeah, Percy, you also know Celestial.
Yep.
Both
Not sure
of
this is
you,
good, bad.
both of you see it says aberration detected.
Oh dear. Right. I'm going
Oh, it
to
lit up. That
back
means it's working.
away
That's great.
and tell everybody else to back away too.
Nothing happens. Like you don't get like smoked or anything. It just you're good. It just says aberration detected. And as you like
Apparently I'm
step
an
away,
aberration now.
after a little bit, the blood begins to like, kind of like seep downward into like the center of the chamber, and you see over time the text begins to dim away.
You see a really sad look on Percy's face, like, oh, I'm tainted now. Great.
But it lit up. That's good, right? We want it to.
Not like that.
Hmm.
I mean, it could be worse.
You see, Clang kind of whispers to you, Yusha. Oh, could it be worse?
Well, it's entirely possible that at some point they'll grow tentacles from their head. Just saying.
You see Clang just looks at you with wide eyes for a minute. He's
I
like,
do a
"Oh."
perception check to see if I hear that.
Sure, roll me a perception check.
I have disadvantage, so I'm hoping I don't. For Percy's well-being. a 10.
10? They're whispering, so I'll say you don't hear it on a 10.
Okay.
But you do see Clank just like looks at you like, "Ugh."
Trust me, buddy. There's literally always something that could make something worse. That's just the nature of the universe.
Want me to break the door open?
I'm pretty sure it would kill you.
Or I kill the door first?
I mean, I'm willing to see what happens.
You say that he starts
I
walking
don't
up with
have-
his axe.
It's taking steps
Just above-
backwards.
Above the table.
Yeah.
We don't seem to have any way to test out our theories. They all seem, a bunch of them make sense.
Mm-hmm.
I think food is probably a good one, or a meal.
You do see, as you're even saying that, Clank has now begun to walk up and unsheathing his weapon, and he's just about to attack the door.
Fine, don't do that,
Oh.
please.
But your host will say he wants to see what happens.
I think you need to take things that your Hoshu says with a grain of salt.
He kind of regards you saying that.
I didn't hear what you said there, Matt.
I said, what are you talking about? It's science. We're doing science over here.
You see as Percy says that, Clank walks back to you and like just pulls a hand out.
Salt, please.
What?
He just Clank walks up to Yehoshu and just like holds a hand up and says,
Salt, please.
Thought? Did you say
"Salt, please."
Salt. Oh, okay. Sorry. Shu would definitely have like different things that he tinkers with and pulls out a little vial of salt. Here you go, buddy.
Oh.
Well, okay, if you're going to do that anyway, could you at least go up to the door and say the answer is a meal before you do
He
that?
Clank walks up and says,
The answer is a meal.
and after 2 seconds, hold on. You see divine light surrounds Clank as he gets zapped. He is up. Okay. He takes a bit of damage, just kind of like falters back.
Oh. It's fighting back.
That wasn't the answer.
Nope.
It's not. I'm sorry.
Anyone have good insight?
Not anymore.
Maybe?
I have a +2, but I have disadvantage at the moment, so.
I've got +4.
I'm sitting
Alright.
on a bigger number than that, but it's still not ideal.
So, what are we guys doing?
Repeat the riddle one last time for me, please.
Yep. When you have me, you want to share me. But if you share
want
me,
to share
you
me.
don't have me. What am I?
If you have me, you want to share me. If you share me, you don't have me.
19 on insight. What are you trying to insight here?
I'm not especially sure if I'm honest, but Percy asked if anyone had it, so
I meant insight on the riddle.
I mean, I will give you the answer, but I mean, the thought track you guys were on about, think like a emperor, think like a king kind of a vibe, isn't fully off. Like you answered a meal, but why would that be in regards to a king or an emperor? Right? Like, power made sense in that regard. But if that's not it anymore, what else could it be then?
Authority?
Well, I mean, is that the same thing as power, though?
Not necessarily. It depends on how this king thinks. I mean, authority is a derivative of power, but power implies a lot more than just your authority.
When you have me, you want to share me.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you have me, you want to share me. A king wouldn't want to share their power or their authority.
I know what it is.
Hmm?
I'm going, I'll know what it is. I don't know that Percy does, though. So
I'll say go for it. You can.
I'm
Like,
gonna
it
roll
could
an
literally
insight.
be.
I'm gonna roll an insight. If it's above a 10, Percy
Oh,
can
yeah?
work it out.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Well, shit. I'm going to look at Dorian, and I'm gonna think about nobility, about my life, about court life. I'm gonna look at Yehoshu and like, what is Yehoshu? Yehoshu, I'm a noble, right?
Sure.
What is a thing that we like to trade in?
Well,
Money, usually, I think.
or stuff.
No, but
I mean,
more than
things.
that. In the courts of power, what are the things that give you more power? What do nobles trade in?
Information?
It's something that's on the
Or-
tip of my tongue.
Reputation?
Secrets.
Yes, that must be it, Yehoshu. It must be secrets. When you have me, you want to share me. But if you share me, you don't have me anymore.
That sounds about right. Clang, tell it that it's a secret.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Let's not do that to Clang
Like just
again.
getting up again, like.
I'm just gonna step in front of Clang.
All right.
And I'll be like, well, if this is it, I'm sorry. Tell my sister I'm sorry. And yeah. I'm gonna walk to the door. I'm gonna say, the answer is secret.
You say that, and again, the text begins to glow brightly. You see on the columns again, it says aberration detected. And as it begins to twist and turn, you see the seal cracks and shatters as the doors slowly begin to swing open.
High five, Percy.
And Percy, you can take inspiration.
Nicely done.
You like the doors open, and it's firstly immediately like the opposite of the room you're standing in terms of lighting. It is like this low blue, faint bluish kind of light, kind of filling this room out. You think it's almost like moonlight or something hitting the room, but you are well underground. And it is much darker, and you just see just a handful of kind of pews set up here, and statues to different deities and stuff like that, like right near the entrance itself. However, going the second you all go in, you see this walkway kind of arches out between the two rows of pews to this big stained glass mural, which looks basically like that depiction you saw on the roof in the previous room, except it looks like amidst all that chaos with the mortals getting hurt and stuff, there's one of these darker figures, relatively more humanoid but taller than what this mortal is depicted as, going and almost clasping the hands of this mortal like he's blessing him. But you notice the person blessing seems to have just a smiling visage with curling horns coming off the side. and your gaze kind of like drops lower. You look around. There seems to be a little like passageway going down to what look like crypts, essentially, of like prior family members and stuff like that. To your right, you see essentially like just like shelves of like stacked scrolls and books and stuff like that. And in the center, like right where like this kind of like blue light is kind of filtering out, you see there is a stone like table, uh, like surrounded by a couple of like just old rickety chairs. None of the like luster and all of that you saw across the palace. This looks very simplistic. And resting on the table, you see a person. You see what looks like a like slightly older, beautiful looking woman, with like fair skin, dark like kind of brownish hair, kind of like cascading down, like very like neatly like combed and kept and everything. And you see across her eyes and across like she's wearing like just this simple blue dress, like robe like dress almost, and you see across her shoulders and coming up from her neck to her face these sigils crafted in black and blue essentially all across. And one of you give me a religion, one of you can give me a medicine.
I mean, dibs on medicine.
I'm gonna stand back and look at the room.
No.
Any chance I could do either an Arcana or a History check?
You can do a history check here.
Okay, I'll do that. I have disadvantage, but I do get to add my charisma, so let's see what that does.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll go one by one. Of the history check, you know between the symbol you saw on the werewolf you guys
Sorry,
just
I have
fought-
disadvantage to be clear. So
Oh wait, it's a
that
4.
was this.
Never
It-
mind.
it was a 4 plus 2 for charisma. So does that make a difference? Does a 6 change
It
it
makes a
radically?
slight difference
Right.
in regards of Percy kind of just like standing back and observing.
I
And
think I'm gonna do the equivalent of like what a school child does with like this world equivalent of divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. Like that's just like what's running through Percy's head is just like a list of monarchs, like the history of like oh yes, and then there was King Ferdinand. After King Ferdinand, there was King. And then the next dynasty begins. It's like a history chronology. Is
Yeah. Like you're running through like this chronology of like family trees in history, and like other people like kind of see like kind of like keeping it to yourself, but also having nothing to do with what's in this room essentially. But as you're doing that, Project, you notice just one specific thing. Like as you're like getting like further into the room, like observing, you don't know what's up with this woman on the table here, but you know this with a 10. This woman is alive.
Oh,
This isn't like a corpse kept here with like a gentle repose or something. This woman is very much alive, and it seems more that something is wrong with her. You're not sure what. That has enfeebled her to a point where she's being kept in essentially stasis, like almost buy more time.
oh goodness me.
That's all you can tell. And with your religion check, Yehoshu, you gather that a bunch of the symbols kind of carved on her are just like celestial glyphs. They are quite literally prayers. They are divine protections placed on this person. But then again, your eyes dart over to the, like, her face getting like shrouded in those like black and white sigils. That doesn't seem divine. That seems arcane, yes, like something arcane was done to almost make her go under like this long-term sleep spell of a sort. But the runes are in infernal, and you would notice in that case essentially that this symbol is very close and like almost make to the symbol on the werewolf fought, and you gather that the symbol of the werewolf was the sigil of Asmodeus, the Lord of the Nine. And here you don't see that same pentagram, but you do see very similar infernal deck magic. And kind of as like you all are like this is essentially like you guys walked in and like you guys were kind of like leading your way, and the second you walked in you saw this like split second, like 2 steps behind you is like the rest of your party. Like Dorian kind of walks in, his eyes go wide at what he sees, as you see he just kind of mutters under his breath, "Mother," and he runs up to her.
Can I try and stop him?
Yeah, I would be assisting with that too.
Roll me an athletics with advantage, so that'll cancel out for the disadvantage.
Come on, baby, make good one. We're good at this usually.
There
Yeah.
you go.
He is not a strong guy at the moment, especially. Like, you just grab onto his shoulder and just drag him back, and he's like, "What?"
Whoa, dude.
Dorian,
Dude.
Wait. Who is that? Your mother?
He kind of he's kind of breathing hard, and then just takes a deep breath, and he just goes, "That is my mother, yes. Empress
What's her
Loretta
name?
Sinet."
Loretta Sinet. Okay. We don't know what is happening. Yehoshu? I'm not that smart. I have an intelligence of 10. I feel like with an intelligence of 10, even with an intelligence of 10, I feel like I can go, we don't know what is happening.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
we should maybe not run right into danger. Take it from me.
Yeah.
As you... Yeah.
I'm just
done
going to
that
point
many
out
times.
all this. This is insane.
Yeah.
And I just start describing everything you...
Yeah. You start saying that, and you, Percy, kind of look over and just go, "Let's run to danger." And you just hear this voice kind of echo across the room, all of you. And yet you came all the way here. Avoiding danger isn't really something you're good at now, is it? And you hear it's coming from behind you, as you see Lanessia standing in the doorframe. Alongside her, you see 2 what look like just bandits, but their eyes are glazed over and are giving off this purplish glow underneath this blue light. And in tow, you see an unconscious Wickbird.
Now, I have
Currently
to say,
bound.
we're not especially good at avoiding danger. If we were, we wouldn't have come here.
My point exactly. Should have stayed in your jar. Everything would have been so easy then. And she slowly starts traipsing into the room.
I remember you now. Okay, yeah. Hey, sorry, dude. Just real quick before we get into this, you know we're gonna do it. Just curious. Are you trying to like wake up homegirl over there, or are you trying to like just, just for the notes?
Oh. Give me a persuasion. Let's see if she slips any intel. Because her int is high enough that she can actually be like, okay, I'm not gonna give him shit.
I mean, that's
Insight
valid,
isn't great though, so.
but that's okay. I rolled a 5.
She just goes, oh, why don't you step aside and I'll show you what I'm planning.
I mean, you know we can't do that. I just wanted to have a conversation before we like.
Oh,
really
I
fuck
know.
your shit
And
up.
again, we can have a lot of conversations if you would just step aside. Save me the trouble of cleaning my gloves
I
out.
would like to hex her, please.
As I'm fire
Cast
bolting.
Hex. Roll
Yeah.
initiative. You both get that free, shot in, but then roll initiative.
I mean, that is right in the issue, right? We can't stand this. Oh, whoa, hey, stuff's happening.
Yeah, it's literally that. Okay.
You'll need to tell me where the table is for the.
Yeah, no, I'm making my rectangles. Give me a moment. Hold on.
Because I think I have to roll in the arcane table, right? I cast a level 1 spell.
Yes. So, this is the kind of raised chamber where you're in. The left here goes into crypts. The right here goes into the bookshelves and stuff. This is the entryway, and a little corridor before the entryway. Oh wait, sorry. No, that's wrong. It opens out into the room here, and then there's the entrance. Apologies. Cool. Now let me just place people. Let me use a different color to show where the table is. Table's here. So you guys are kind of close. I believe this is Percy's token, the default one.
Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, I guess I should have sent you the picture. I did have a picture.
You're good.
Oops.
You're good.
Whoops.
Uh,
I did get art.
we'll say the one with the red dot is Nolodax. We'll say the one with the green dot is Dorian. And the one with the blue dot is Morgan. And then one with the purple dot is Clang. Then the two unmarked ones are the lads that came in with her. And then there's a couple other assets we can use for this now, just to keep things a little clearer. Let's see. Yeah, sure. We'll say this is Wigdid. And this is Venecia. Walk to step up. Yeah. Cool. Now let me look at initiatives for everyone. Project got a 16. 15 for Percy. What did Yahusha get?
Need to roll still. Here we go.
Cool. Frank got a 5.
I got a 14.
14 for Yehoshu. 10 for Nolodax. 12 for Morgan. 19 for Dorian. Then this here. The lads will go unhurted. Cool. So as you fire off your two like attacks, essentially, like Percy just hexes for now. What are you giving disadvantage on?
Wisdom would be good.
Not sure. Not. I
Dexterity.
don't play warlocks usually. So,
Fair.
It's only for skill checks. It's not for saves. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Just skill
think about
checks.
in terms of the meta. Like strength would be good because they'd have disadvantage on like athletics checks and things like that.
yeah. Yeah.
Dexterity isn't always a horrible thing. It's really up to you.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about what the spells and things that we have here that are helpful.
Remember, it's
Than
just
what
checks.
they usually.
It's not
Yeah,
saves.
It's checks,
true.
not saves.
Sure,
Yeah.
you're right. It's checks and saves. Let's just do strength.
You give disadvantage on strength as you cast Hex, and what did you roll to hit with your Firebolt?
That was a 17.
A 17. 17, you see she puts her shield up and it misses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Crafty. I figured.
I also I need to roll on the arcane table, but I can't see it. I don't know where to find it. I'm also trying to find
it's in
stuff
your
fast.
features. You can click like on your features and traits where it says Arcane Magic Search. If you click on that, it'll open the entire table.
It does it? Okay. Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but
Okay.
first you have to roll a d20 to see if it happens.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Right.
So it only happens if you. What spell slot did you use? 1 or 2?
1.
1. So yeah, only on a nat 1 will it trigger.
Let's see how lucky I am. Roll. Yes, to everyone. Roll. Oh, it rolled 2. Sorry.
No
Well,
worries. 23. Wait, no. 7 is the first roll.
yeah.
You're good. Yeah, nothing happens. That feature's only
Cool.
scary at like higher levels when you get bigger spells to use. Because the chance of it triggering depends on the spell slot used. So if you use a third level
Okay.
slot, it's 3 or lower.
Right, okay, cool. Thank you.
But yeah, for sure. So yeah, all that happens, and then immediately as you fire that stuff off, these guys take guard, and Dorian here sees them come in, and he's gotten a short rest, so that's good. He's gonna move like here. Like he like kind of like runs in closer off to like one of the sides. He gets like behind like a pillar, and he's gonna. Yeah, he sees Wigbirds there, so he can't do like his like big AoE stuff. So he's gonna do lightning bolt from there, and that'll get 2 of them. They do dex saves. Okay. This guy fails. She passes. You see, she like dodges out of the way, gets clipped by a little bit of lightning as just lightning crackles across, shattering the pews here. And the guy in the back just gets like slammed by all of it. Doesn't die, but takes a chunk of damage. And that's Dorian's turn. Then it is her turn. She sees all of you there, and she's like kind of, pinches her nose and goes, making a mess where I need it to be clean. Oh, God. She goes, fine, screw it, we have to clean anyway now. And like just snaps her fingers, and she will cast a fireball on all of them. Everyone give me a dexterity saving throw.
24.
Wow.
Not bad.
Sorry, 22. That was projects. 22.
Either way.
Yeah, so both of you pass the save. Percy fails. Percy, you take 27 fire damage. The two of you take half that, so 13.
I'm going to
Yeah, 'cause it's
use
an area
my...
effect. I can't use shield anyways because it's a save, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But I am going to use my reaction to cast
Absorb elements?
Yes, absorb elements.
Yeah, then you
I'm
take
going-
6.
I'm gonna use my reaction.
Mm.
Am I gonna do that? Yeah.
Hellish
Fuck
Rebuke?
yeah. Yes, I am. I'm gonna hellish rebuke because it's poetic.
The deck saves. Like you get slammed by this fireball, and you just look through the flames and look at her, and your eyes just glow like 2 different colors, and like this fire licks out and like shoots at her.
Mhm.
She rolled a natural 20.
Okay. Well,
That's unfortunate.
Well, at least take
Damn
some
it.
damage.
No.
I thought you...
it's safe.
In our rules, nat 20 just clears it. You see, like as it comes towards her, she just literally like just sidesteps as it goes past her, and she just looks at you and goes, like just smirks, and that is her turn. Project, you're up.
Okay, so. Alright, I know you went over all this, and I'm very sorry, but just to absolutely
good.
confirm I know what I'm doing, it's these folks down here who are the bad guys, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. There's a lot of people around me. I wanted to make sure I wasn't going to
Yeah.
start bouncing my friends.
This is Wigbert.
That's Wigbert. Okay.
Yeah.
I can work with this.
And then who are these over here?
Just delete. I just had those templates out.
Gotcha.
You can just.
And the walls here, these are walls, right? This is the room?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are walls. These connecting walls are just doorways. They are open right now.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, let's just zoom over here. Thanks to monk speed, I can make that in a turn.
Yeah, you just,
And
roll your way through.
absolutely. I think it flattens down into a liquid and just slithers across the floor and then shoots back up as it's going to try to
Terrifying.
catch her by surprise a little bit.
13 misses. 26 hits.
Okay.
That bypasses shield, yeah.
Let's go ahead and... Well, that's not ideal, but let's hit that with a stunning strike while we're making contact.
You alright? Con save?
Yep.
She gets stunned.
Nice.
No more fireballs for now. And then I think I'm just gonna bonus action make another unarmed strike because
Yeah.
I don't want to spend another key point right now. But that's not gonna do it, so that's me.
You have advantage because she's stunned.
Oh, yes, of course, thank you.
Yeah.
I forgot that part of stunning. Still not gonna do it though.
Yeah. You the first hit kind of goes wide, and then you get her on the backswing as she just gets rattled for a second, and for the third one, as you're going up, you see her guards essentially are getting close, and you take a step back and end up missing, and that's your turn. After which we have Project. Oh no, Percy. I just did Project. Yes.
Well, if you'd like, I could say.
Second
Okay.
turn.
So I should have done this before, but I was doing something else.
You're just in 30. You can get into melee.
Get into melee range. Okay. I definitely want to get into melee range with this lady, that's for sure. Okay. Sorry. Give me a second.
Yeah.
I'm going to Yeah, screw it. I'm a attacker with my long sword. I think that's the best use I have here. Had to roll. I didn't roll my concentration before. I took 26 damage, so I need to get a
Yes.
13 or
Yes.
above.
So roll me a con save. 14.
14. Okay, so she's still hexed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run up to her. Come on, my little friend. Oh, I can't. Oh, sorry, wrong token. We're gonna move. Move. And flank. Our rules here are flanking is across.
Yeah, like you'll have to get like where this
Yeah.
guy's, or even one more down. I'll allow a flank. But yeah.
Yeah, I can't move that far yet, anyways. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
But you don't need flank. She's stunned. You have advantage.
Yeah, I'm gonna whack her with my longsword.
All right.
Ooh. Cool. So that's a 10 to hit.
10 would miss.
Oh wait, I have advantage though, right?
Advantage. Yes.
Let's try again. I should have not rolled the damage, but okay, never mind. Sorry about that. Okay.
25 hits.
Okay, cool. And I think it rolled the damage too for us
Yes.
here. Great. But I also has it rolled the hex automatically or no?
No, you'll have to
Let me
add
see.
the hex damage.
Okay. So I believe each time on a hex
D6.
it's a d6. So let's add that. My little classic dice. Well, great.
Every bit helps.
Second attack. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
again. That's 24. Let's just roll
24.
again.
Yeah, crit
See if I
fish. We love it.
do better. Nope.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a 24
Regardless,
to
that
hit.
hits. She do be stunned. Yeah.
Such bad damage roll. Okay. Plus
7 damage. There, yeah.
Plus-
Okay.
hex, right? Or is it
Yes.
on each roll?
On
yeah.
every attack, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's
11 there
11.
and 10 before, so 21 damage total. All right, that's pretty good.
Those are really bad
Uh,
rolls. So that's good.
Yeah, like it's still pretty good damage as you like just run up and slash twice, and now this weird, slightly maligned energy, kind of like shooting out with necrotic forces, and slash into her twice, where she's still like discombobulated, getting her bearings, and that's your turn. Right
Actually,
after
can I just
Sure.
slightly undo something?
For sure.
Can
What?
I be there
Sure. Yeah, that's fine.
where I am? I just want to be able to use Sentinel, basically.
Yeah.
Unless you'll allow it actually 5 feet away, but I don't know what with it. It says within 5 feet, so I don't know if that would apply.
Technically, as long as the enemy is within 5 feet, you're good, I think. Because it says when a
so
creature
fine.
within 5 feet makes an attack. So wherever you're standing in
Right.
regards to the person making the attack, you're good.
So I
But
was
yeah.
fine. I'm going to do that, and then I can use a bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck
You
it!
would have your divinity and stuff back.
You channel divinity. Yeah. Okay. Yes. One of those requires an action, though.
Yeah. So you
see.
can activate Zone of Defense if you want. Or if you want to save your channel divinity for the shout, you can do that. Up to you.
I think I'll probably do Warden Shout. I think that's probably a better use of my.
All right.
Yeah. So I'll save that.
Ooh.
But I could.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're good. That's fine. We're good. That's fine. I know what I'm gonna do.
All right. After that, we have Yehoshu.
Okay. For my turn, yeah, I think. Let me see here. Trying to figure out if I can get everybody, but it does not look like I could. Oh yeah, there we go. But that would get them, and I don't want to do that. Maybe if I move it down a little bit. There, yes, perfect. Okay, so right here I'm casting Fairy Fire as my action. I mean, it's 20 feet.
All right.
Actually, I think it's a 20-foot cube, not a 10-foot cube. I'm looking at that wrong. Let me double
Yes,
check.
20 foot.
Yeah.
20 foot,
It
so
should-
you're good. You can get all of them.
Yeah, I can get all of them without getting my buddies, so that's kind of what I'm aiming for.
Yes. I'll say you'll catch Wigbird in it no matter what, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't care about that. So action, Fairy Fire. I need all of them to make dexterity saving
Dex
throws.
saves.
The stunned person just fails it.
Auto
automatically, I
fails,
think.
yep. Yeah. Stun fails auto for Dex for sure.
So,
All of them fail.
love it. Everyone is.
Yeah, yes. The culminating battle, I start rolling like ass suddenly. I haven't rolled above a 10 for this fight.
Good. Good. That's what we want.
Don't say good.
Yes, excellent. Good. Keep it on. Keep it up. Good job, Tan.
So then I would like to go ahead and for my bonus action. Oh wait a minute, no, I don't need to do that for a bonus action. I'm just going to go ahead and the construct moves on its own. It could. I only have to use a bonus action to get it to attack. So for right now, could I have a? Yeah, could I have that as my construct?
I was
Perfect.
just doing that. Yeah. The
Perfect.
wrench
I'm
makes
gonna
sense,
have.
yeah.
I'm gonna have my construct move to right here.
Like here?
Yeah, right there. Perfect. That's exactly where I
Awesome.
want them. That way they're within range of my two buddies.
Yeah.
And then as a bonus action, I would actually like to telekinetically shove
Ooh.
the stunned mage to push
Yeah,
them right
actually auto
here,
fails.
right there. Right between the two of them, giving them
Yeah?
flanking.
You like just pull her back with telekinesis. She can't resist, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then for my the last of my turn, I'm just going to move right here, just so I'm kind of using the wall for cover a little bit.
All right.
That's the end of my turn.
Cool. That is your turn. After which, Morgan is gonna go. What did I say? Morgan was purple, I think.
Blue. I think he was blue. I think Morgan's blue.
He was blue. Okay. What's he gonna do? You guys actually haven't seen Morgan fight, so that's fun. You see, he's gonna like run up as far as he can here, and you see he taps and like kind of presses down on his like chest plate he's wearing, and you see this kind of green energy kind of fills his entire breastplate as it goes up and fills up his neck, and his eyes go green, and you just hear him go, "Peter, you can deal with this." And as he says that, you see he like looks up straight with these green eyes, and he just goes, "Finally, I've been waiting for this." And he pulls up two daggers and starts chucking them. And as you see, like the daggers fly across on the soldier in front of him. They are tethered to his wrist by like these green chains. And let's see if they hit. Okay, one of them crits, the other misses. You see he chucks both of them. One, the guy like kind of dodges out of the way, like just surprised at what the fuck's happening, and the other one goes and like just gets him right in the side as he takes. 11. No, so not 11. So that'll be so 12 piercing and 14 necrotic damage. And you see Morgan is acting very differently. His body language has fully changed during this. That's Morgan's turn. Then Nolodax. What's he gonna do? Nolodax is gonna move here, and He's gonna. Actually, he won't move. He's gonna look down the left here into the crypts, and he's gonna cast Raise Undead. As he goes and creates a lad out of one of the dead royals you can imagine. We'll mark it with a skull.
Oh
And
shit! We got zombies over here.
and that one will go from the next turn. That's Noladax's turn. And Clang smiles, gives you a nod, goes into a rage, and is gonna. You just see him do like this big Hulk leap across and land right here. And he's gonna take one reckless swing on the guy beneath him and one on the lady. That is a nat 20. And
Love
a.
Everyone gets advantage. Love it.
Yeah. So he actually misses the lady even with advantage, but crits the other guy. Takes a chunk of damage there. Okay. That is Clank's turn. Top of the turn order, you guys hear rushed footsteps getting louder in the distance. But you aren't sure who they belong to. They might even be guards at this point. There's a ruckus happening, so people might have heard. And top of the turn, on initiative count 20, a layer action goes off. As you see, as all of this struggles happening, I'll say, Project and Percy, you're both like next to Lunesia here, and she's stunned, so you get a very easy look at her for a moment. And she's kind of like just like gathering her bearings. She's kind of leaning on this bladed staff he has. Like, it's clearly like a melee weapon that she also has like magical crystals and stuff embedded into it, and that's what she cast her fireball from. And she's kind of like leaning on that, and her other hand is clutching onto like something. And it begins to like give off this faint orange glow. I'll say either of not both of you can give me a perception check, and if you roll well, then you can do a history check.
Can I do an Arcana check?
No, you're trying to see something first. You don't know what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have disadvantage, so.
I mean, only one of you has to spot it. Then I'll say both of you can like figure. Oh, both of you see it.
Well, all right, yeah.
Well,
So
wait,
far, we'll
I
wait
have
for disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Yeah,
I-
I know.
10.
10 in melee range or a stunned person, you still catch it.
Okay.
You can roll history or arcana. I'll allow that.
I'll roll Arcana.
Hey. That could have been a lot worse.
Okay, so it's actually that plus 2.
So
So
19.
it's 19.
Awesome. You firstly, both of you see it's like some kind of a almost like a piece of a pendant or something. And you have seen that same pendant on Dorian already. That is the family crest of House Sinet. And it seems to be glowing with this interplanar energy. With that arcana, you can tell that it seems for some reason this like little pendant piece has been enchanted with firstly some kind of infernal magic, but beyond that also it seems to be made from material that comes from the plane of fire. Like, so you can imagine it might be, Ganassi, Mephit related, or if it's like very potent, it might even be something like a red dragon, or what you think back on when you like detected the celestial and fiend presence intertwined. You might even think Phoenix is something it might be involved with. But you see, like, she's kind of clutching, like, more than anything, even in this state, she's making sure not to, like, let go of that. And it doesn't seem like it's because of, like, oh, it's my source of power or anything like that. It's more like she just wants to not lose it. Like, her mind is immediately going to, like, her base, like, thing and, like, getting surrounded and stunned. She's just, like, clutching onto it, like, I don't want to lose this. And you clock that, and immediately you see on the far end of the room some of the glyphs on Loretta Sinet on the table there begin to give off a similar orangish glow. That is all that happens with that layer action. Then it's Dorian's turn. What's he gonna do? Can't do the lightning shit now. He's gonna. Ooh, he's gonna chuck a sacred flame. So, because she auto fails the dex save and just takes the damage. Yeah, a bunch of radiant damage slams into her, and she again, like, cries out. And for his bonus action, he's gonna give 8 temporary hit points to Project and Percy.
Nice.
As again, you see, like, his hand glows golden as the, like, light spreads out, and as that happens, it is Lunesia's turn again. Now, does the stun go away at the end of her turn? Just check
It ends at the end of my next turn.
at the
which
end
is a
of
little
your
wild,
next.
but yeah.
Oh yeah,
All
stunning
right.
strike sucks, dude.
Yeah,
Monks
in
are
that
cool.
case, they're cool until a certain level, and then everything starts to eclipse them. Is the problem?
Nah, monks are cool.
I agree. But also, out of all the subclasses, like, I've made for this one, the reason I haven't made one for monk yet is because I'm having a horrible time balancing it. Okay, but next up is Project's turn.
All right. So this fella directly above me. That's the construct, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's mine.
Okay. Just making sure. Yeah. So while she is down, I'm gonna try to tag her again because that fireball, I think, really did a number on us as a group.
Mm-hmm.
Let's. I'd say that's probably all right.
That works.
Let me hit that damage, but I'm gonna spend another key point to try and re-up that stun.
So she does a con save.
Yep.
I mean, I hope she doesn't roll a 2 on the dice again, but
Yeah. Looking for that 14.
14. She makes it. That is a 16.
Drat. Okay. Well, it was worth a shot.
I mean, it worked, honestly.
Yeah, in that case, I'll just let go with another one. I'm not dropping more key points on this, but
12
this
misses.
is... Well, she's down, right? So this should be
Oh,
an
she's
advantage
stunned, so
attack.
advantage.
Yeah, I
20
haven't figured out how to
hits.
set that and beyond.
Yeah.
If you hold shift before you click on the thing, it'll roll it with advantage.
Yeah.
That is great to know. Thank you so much.
Yep.
6 more damage, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, it's little damage, but it gets there eventually. And then I
Alright.
think as a bonus action, I'm just gonna throw one more at her while we've still got that advantage. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, actually, she got fairy fired, didn't she? So that's no good.
Yeah, she is fairy fired.
All right. Well, I will hopefully remember that for the future. But for now, I think that's it. Just flailing wildly and missing terribly because I'm used to fighting people who are above me.
Fair. You do see after your turn, these guys are finally out of their stupor and they start running in to attack. And this one runs in, attacks Morgan twice. Both hit. And
Morgan's in blue, just so I'm clear.
Morgan is blue, yes.
Yeah, okay.
This guy, you see, is actually going to go up to her and will use a superiority dice to do Commander Strike. And you see, basically, he gives her an action to like attack with.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Is that a attack that they're doing on her? Sort of, or
Ooh.
no?
No, it's
How does it work?
basically he's giving his
Okay.
action to give her a
Sure.
free attack.
Okay.
And you see for her, like, attack, she just, like, picks up her polearm, like, kind of getting, like, pushed into, like, her senses for a moment. And she just, like, twirls her weapon all around and attempts to hit all of you at once.
I'm gonna use my
first,
reaction if she.
24 to hit Project.
I'm gonna use my
Percy,
reaction
oh,
to
definitely,
attack her then.
Yeah. 24 to hit Percy.
Oh, for sure.
And
A 24 will hit, yes.
I'm
also gonna hit her.
Gets hit. Yeah, you can roll to hit.
Hopefully. Well, fuck.
That misses. You have flank advantage.
Oh, I do have advantage. Okay, even if it's on a reaction. Okay.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
good. Well, it's a nat 7, so no, 13. Better.
18 damage to both of you, slashing. And
Okay.
both
Ouch.
of you see there is this glowing glyph over your heads after she slams her staff into you. And after that, it is Percy's turn.
Okay, so the purple is who?
Purple is Clang.
Clang. Okay, and then next to Clang is this dude. Okay, board has changed a little bit since the last I looked.
Yeah.
She's still stunned though, right?
No, she is no longer stunned.
No longer stunned.
But she is fairy fired.
Correct.
Okay. Oh, that's annoying. I'm gonna tell Wigbert. I'd like to use Wigbert. Carefully come round to me.
Pickbird.
He can.
You can roll me a persuasion to like wake him up.
Oh, I have disadvantage, so it's not gonna go well. Well, this is
7. Wickbird is out. He's fucked up and unconscious.
Damn it.
Uh,
Ugh. Okay.
yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna longsworder. Oh, I had to say, wait, let me roll my con on that attack that did me 20. How many was it damage that we just took?
18 damage.
18?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I forgot with adding my con, so that would be it'd be a 10. So that's all saves.
10 to what?
Half of 18.
I see.
Half of 18, that would save. So I'm
You're
still
good.
Hex. Gonna attack with advantage.
17. She can't use shield. That will hit. She uses a reaction to attack you.
Great. So it's 17 to hit. I'm gonna slash.
Man. Her skipping that turn actually fucked her. I might not even have to expedite anything. I think she just gets fucked.
Hex damage.
Oh, do you want to put any divine smite on this?
Yes, I do. I'm going to kill this woman. If I possibly can, I will be killing this woman. Where's my smite? I don't have what level spells. 1 second. How high? I think I can only have level. I do have level 2. Fuck
You
it.
do.
Do it.
I
Do
That's
it.
So
level
that's a
2
3d8.
smite. It's level 2 smite. She has hurt me a lot, and I kind
many
of blame
ways.
her for the warlock situation I'm currently non-consenting in. Where's my? Sorry, trying to find it on my thing. Divine smite. Okay.
You can just roll the
Last one
3d8.
so just 3d8. We'll do this, and then we'll just do this. Oh, did it roll? Nope. Oh, yes, it did. So that's
That's a 2d8.
yeah, and then 1. So
Yeah,
that's
okay.
17.
So that's 17 plus 12.
Yeah.
How do you want to do this? She didn't get the axe.
Can I also get the family crest medallion? I want to try and slice it so precisely that it goes through her, and also wax the family medallion. Because I feel like that's bad. I'm getting bad vibes off of the medallion.
That's what you're doing. I will allow it. You go for like a slash, you're like in this like flurry. She's like swiping back.
Like, through the neck.
She's like turns to
Cutting
you.
through the medallion. If I can't actually cut the medallion, I would really love it if I could end up with the medallion on my sword. Thanks.
All right. Yeah. So you go slashing in. As you like slash into her neck, you see her eyes just go like pale for a moment as she kind of like very slowly darts her eyes towards the woman on the table, as she just with a croak just goes, "Oh, I was so close, mother." And the slash goes further down her torso as your blade slams into the crest. Now, this wouldn't have done jack shit unless it's hit by radiant damage, which your divine smite does.
Yep.
So, you slash into it as you see it just cracks and shatters. However, as it shatters, firstly, you see immediately the other two guys go unconscious as the purple light fades. They were clearly charmed and were fighting for her, and they just both go unconscious immediately. And you see, as this shatters, this pool of energy shoots out of her hand across this entire shrine and flies barreling towards the woman on the table. As you see, the table beneath her begins to crack open as same orangish light begins to emanate from that, along with licks of fire and the distant footsteps that come running in. You see, very clearly now, there's a bunch of guards accompanied by the Emperor himself with weapon out and everything, looking around with wild eyes, just going, "What is happening here? Oh, what?" And he looks and recognizes Dorian and just goes, "What is happening?" And before Dorian says anything, you see the unconscious Wigbird begins to float up into the air. As you see around his neck, the same marks as on the woman are there. As he begins to get jettisoned towards the table, cracking open. In this moment,
Can
if
I try
anyone
and
has
grab
anything
him?
to do, are you just trying to reach out and just grab onto him?
Yeah, I'm trying to weight him down before he gets there, I guess. Because it looks like it's kind of in my path.
You can try to intercept. You can roll me this would be a strength saving throw.
While that's happening, could I also use my telekinetic shove ability to assist with this?
Yes. I'll give you advantage for that, yeah.
21.
Uh, 21. Okay. You see, kind of like just like grab on, and there is some abnormal force just pulling against you. As you come out like around the side and like give him a push back, as the ripple is getting more violent. As you see, this woman is slowly like beginning to like sink into the like opening in the stone tablet, and in that moment, uh, simultaneously, you see both the Emperor and Dorian begin sprinting towards her, trying to catch her before she falls. But currently, Dorian is very like slow on the uptake with his exhaustion. The Emperor is very far away. Yehotu, Percy, you're both doing something to like stop Wigbert from like flying in. Project, what are you doing?
It seems pretty clear from their reaction that that is not supposed to be happening. And I think I am, at the moment, the fastest one in this room because everyone else is exhausted. So,
Can I help?
yeah.
Can I help
cannot.
you?
You're busy with Wigbert.
Okay. I was just wondering if I can reach out with one hand.
Fair.
Because I have a bonus action
Right now,
that I could do.
all of your being is holding Wigbert down. That's all your focus right now.
Okay, fair enough.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Project, so what are you trying?
Yeah, so if it seems like they're trying to prevent her from being pulled down into this thing, I think Project is going to try to, for lack of a better word, grapple her. It sort of is moving to envelop her, use its entire body as a sort of muscular contraction to pull her back out of that thing that she's sinking down into.
Okay. Now, this is pretty risky. So, as you go to do this, I'm gonna need either an athletics or a strength save.
Athletics or a strength save. Neither of them are great, but one of them is better, so let's go for the save.
Alright.
Alright. That'll do.
With a natural 20. Of course it's a natural 20. Why have consequences for such moves? You literally, like, flubber style, just bounce across the room, immediately onto Loretta as you envelop her, and you feel like something beneath you is just pulling you with extreme force. And for a moment, you even feel like a hand coming to like reach for you. But in this same moment, you, with all of your force, while enveloping her, push her off of the table. And as you do so, that gives the Emperor just enough time to run up and catch up as he pulls his sword up from like his sheath and plunges it into the crack between the table to essentially plug the crack. And as he does so, he just says very like forcefully, just, "The pact stands, devil! Go back from whence you came!" And he, like, nothing like divine or like light or anything like enshrouds him with his sword being all holy and stuff even. He just like very much like says that, and you see the fire slowly dulls and a small tally mark almost appears on him, the Empress, and Dorian's arms. And as that happens, Wigbert stops getting pulled and slowly just opens his eyes, looks at you, Percy. What? Where am I? Ah! Young Master Percival. And like he just kind of like like he's just like wiping his eyes and just going like, are you all right?
I'm gonna take my pin that I'd had on and I'm gonna pin it back on Wigbert, and I'm going to say, I'm all right. We're going to get you some armor.
He looks almost like scared at the proposition. He's a very feeble old man. Like he isn't sure he can even wear armor. But you say that, and you see, Noldax was like ready at this point. He has like raised three of the royals as undead. What's that?
I think, in fact, I'm going to say you should have this back, and I think you should go back and help my sister with her studies.
But
I think it's
Master,
time for me
what
to
about
no
you?
longer have a butler.
But who will do your meals and your clothes, Master?
I'll have to figure it out. Maybe Yehoshu will help me. And numbers that I'm not sure how you eat.
Project's a lot better cooked than
Mostly
I
I
am.
just envelop stuff.
You just see he looks very like unsure and like almost like for a moment he even feels like he did something wrong, kind of like, you know, he has a look like, oh, have I offended you, and then kind of just like relaxes a little. Morgan kind of goes back to himself, plank, just like he's kind of just there looking at like the corpses, and like he sees the two unconscious people and he just starts tying them up. Naladak just looks disappointed at like the fact that his like raised undead can't do anything. So, and he also notices that the Imperial family has just shown up, so maybe they won't like what he just did. So you see, he very casually just casts invisibility on all the three undead here, and he has basically stolen three royal corpses, but he isn't going to talk about it.
She doesn't say shit
but-
about this.
Yeah, I feel like you're the only one who saw that, so yeah. And the Emperor kind of stands up, looks at all of you. I recall all of you. At the ceremony, you were tasked with aiding us in our rural expansion, quelling the aftermath of the war. What are you all doing here? What is any of this?
Well, you know, that's actually a really long story, and we would be thrilled to tell you about everything that happened and all the bullshit in the meantime. I don't suppose we could do that over lunch, because I have not eaten since like the day before yesterday, and it's been just been a day. It's been a day. So
And if I may presume, Your Majesty, I also think that Dorian, His Highness, could do with a nap.
You see,
I
as
think
you
we
both
could
like say
all
this,
Do with a nap.
he looks at his kid literally there, who's just like barely standing up straight, looks at all of you exhausted, wounded, covered in blood at this point, and he just goes, right. Well, regardless of what stories may be involved, at the very least, looks at Project. You made sure my wife does not die. And from what I can gather, you have been aiding my son. It's far beyond any valor of duty I had asked of any of you, any of the volunteers even. And it was happening right under my nose. And he kind of looks over at all the mess. He's like, I'm sure you all have your questions as well. Fine. Lunch it is. And he just like says one thing, which is, my wife made some foolish decisions. And I'm keeping her and the rest of the family safe from, between us, the incursion of a devil lord. It seems some people have found out about this and be very grateful if we could keep this within these walls. And he gives you a very like knowing look, like, you know,
Can-
I would
Can I do
appreciate it.
Can I do an insight into whether Linestia, or even a perception? I want to see if she looks like both the queen and the king.
You can roll me an insight or a nature.
Position. I'm exhausted. God, it's so bad. Okay. All right. Well, it's a 4.
I mean, could be. I mean, they all look human. That's what you can tell.
Can I like take a mental picture with my brain to store for later?
Sure.
I'm gonna take a mental picture with my brain to store for later, and I'm gonna choose to sit on the information
Uh-huh.
from what I heard. But I'm guessing that Project also heard last.
Yeah. Yep.
Did we all hear that?
Yeah. No, I'd say
Yehoshu as
Project
well?
and you. Yehoshu was a little too far. Like, she croaked it as you slit her throat. Like, wasn't very loud.
Cool. All right.
There's also
I'm just gonna
just
look
the
at Yehoshu.
possibility
I'm gonna look
that
at
Yehoshu
Project.
doesn't care.
But yeah, he basically starts like, he goes into a whole thing about how his wife has a deal with the devil and how he has taken steps to preserve it while he's figuring out how to break that pact, essentially. And he's been researching into the fire plane and the capabilities of a phoenix and their, innate ability for rebirth. And he was seeing if he can perhaps apply that to someone who is in the middle of packs, because packs usually tend to be until I die. So if he can figure out essentially a phoenix like rebirth, he can get his wife out of it and make her, non-cursed again.
Oh
But
shit! Yeah, that's right. Emperor, you're not supposed to be doing that. The whole thing with the fire plane and the phoenix. The guardians of the planet all say that if you're doing that, you're gonna like crack it like an egg or some shit like that. I kind of blanked out at a couple parts because my mind was different at that point. But I definitely remember that there's these guardians, and one of them's name is Paradiphytus, and he says that whatever it is you're doing, I assume it's this phoenix thing, you're gonna kill everybody if you do that. So you might not want to.
right, I see. Like his shoulders slump a lot at hearing that, and then he just goes, "As I said, much to discuss." And he kind of escorts you guys out of that place back into like the palace proper. You guys are cleaned up and healed. All of you are given a bunch of gold, like a couple thousand gold commendations. Your name is announced as people who have personally aided the imperial family, which essentially opens the doors for you guys to do pretty much anything around the city, the capital itself. Like, you guys can kind of set up your own guilds. You guys know that there were a bunch of other volunteers and all. They've all gone on different missions. Some came back successful, some never came back, some died. But you see this big, glowing empire stretching across the entire mainland, and now, with your assistance, even beyond. While you have perhaps given the emperor something to think about, he has to still pick up the pieces of a war that has lasted for 5 centuries before his rule. And the fires of that war have died down, but quite literally, the cinders remain. And the light of those cinders is literally what has formed this empire of justice and purity and things that linger onward. But burying all of this past misgrievances and sins during the war isn't really the solution here. They have to address these things properly, and the people in this kingdom may not get to know everything that happens here, but at the very least, they deserve to know the sacrifices them and their families have made over this war have led to something beyond just the light of cinders. And you guys all go off, do your own things. Some of you perhaps find out about your ancestry. Some of you perhaps start taking a more active role in higher society. And some of you maybe look at your origins itself. And are there any more of you? And yes, that brings us to the end of our little tale. We've saved an empire. Congratulations.
Awesome.
Yay.
Oh, goodness.
Very fun.
We didn't die. There was no TPK.
Yay!
There was no TPK. That stunning strike ruined my entire plan.
Thank you,
The next
Numbers.
one was
You
going to be so
definitely
much worse
saved
than
my
a
life.
fireball. I was going to charm Percy. No, my plans.
I have
Uh,
advantage against being charmed, just as a reminder.
Yeah, DC's pretty good is the thing. I was figuring with advantage you might still fail. Yeah, that is our story. And that's perhaps a single page in the world of Transea, across such an old world with all kinds of secrets and history buried on top of each other, people putting things under the carpet kind of a situation. And who knows how many other tales lurk beneath the shadow of this world. But once again, I'm glad that everyone who's watching could join us for this journey. And I hope everyone had fun, including those people playing, obviously.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Once again, thanks to all at the table for running. That is Cinders, along with such a lovely cast. I am once again your dungeon master and fighter, and I can be found at Tanfighter117, different socials, Instagram, Twitter, whatnot. And this is our lovely cast of players. Once again, if anyone has anything to put or share, Elle, start with you.
Hi, my name is Elle. You can find me at LC Font on social media, including Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky. I sometimes am on those things, but usually not. You can also find me competing in aerials competitions over the following week, and just generally doing weird stuff.
Rad.
That's me.
Hell yeah.
Passing it on to Matt.
Okay, howdy everybody. I am Matthew R. Dawson. You can find me over on the internet pretty much everywhere as at Scruffy Wanderer. I am also a showrunner of myself. I run a show called Random Rhapsody, which is on Twitch and on YouTube and TikTok and pretty much everywhere else, which you can always find me every Monday and Wednesday running all sorts of games from 5th edition to Pathfinder to a lot of indie stuff. So definitely come and check it out. We got 4 active campaigns going right now, which alternate on Mondays and Wednesdays. So definitely come by, check us out on that. Take it away, nobody.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. I am available at Nobody Adams on Twitter and Blue Sky. That's Adams with 2 Ds. And I do a whole bunch of stuff. For Random Rhapsody, I'm playing as part of the Ether Shanties campaign every other Monday. Here on the first Saturday of every month as part of Artifacts of Romulus. I'm also part of our pre-recorded YouTube series. I'm sorry, it's been a while since I've said that one out loud. Our pre-recorded YouTube series, Vigilantes Union 13. I'm also on 2 weekly podcasts. Us Weirdos Have to Stick Together, which is about queer representation in cartoons, and The X-Files, which is a 9 chapters a week reread of every single Animorphs book in order. I do a lot of stuff these days.
All fun stuff. And yes.
Nobody,
that
can I
is it
ask you a
from
quick
all of-
question about your podcast?
Oh.
Absolutely.
Have you covered Owl House?
That was the first thing we did. That's where I got my tattoo from.
Nice.
Amazing. So anyone who wants
Love
to see content about Owl House should definitely go watch that podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
And here's Ziggy.
but
Come say
yes,
goodbye.
that is
Hello,
it from
Sweden.
all of us. We shall all see you around somewhere, someplace at some time. And cat.
Bye.
Bye-bye.